Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Kyle, and we are back with Adventures in Middle-earth here on Fantasy Forge Studios. Very excited to really start off and kick off this melee where we left off last time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our cast of players. We are joined by everybody today. So let's go ahead and start with Valineth.
Hey guys, I'm Dain or Forged. You may call me, of course, this is Fantasy Forge, so refer to me as either. But I play the character Valineth. He is from Rivendell. He is a high elf of Rivendell, and he is a scholar. So he excels with a bow, and his healing herbalist kit is what he does, and he's very excited for some melee action today.
Awesome. I like it. I like it. Moving on to Theodric.
Hey everybody, I'm that tubby Australian. I will be playing Theodric Grimborn. He is a man of Rohan Slayer, so he likes to be up in the thick of combat with his sword or spear. And he too is looking forward to the melee tonight.
Perfect. And then moving on to Jaylyn.
Hello, my name is Leah, SpiderFan33 in Twitch chat, or I play Jaylyn, the human woman from the Breland. My internet connection is also very bad tonight. I apologize.
Perfect. And no worries about the internet connection. You can only do what you can do. So we'll be patient. It'll be okay. And then finally, we have our last player, Faenor. Oh, can't hear you. Nope. Are you muted on? Yep, there we go.
I was muted in 3 different places, so
Oh,
all good. I'm Nick, or LavaChris187 in either the Discord chat or on Instagram, but I am playing Faenor, the Mirkwood Slayer. Similar to Theodric, going to be there in the thick of things, hopefully trying to keep everyone alive.
Absolutely. I'm pretty actually excited to see how the party themselves are able to do combat because I think it's a very well-rounded party. I mean, got a couple really good melee attackers, but actually 3 pretty decent melee attackers and then 2 like pretty darn good supports. And so this melee will be good. It'll be quite interesting to see just in general how things end up turning out when it comes down to it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right in. Does anyone have any questions before I do any recap? Yes.
Introduce yourself.
Ugh.
Excuse me.
Hey.
Excuse me. Who are you?
Hey guys, I'm Kyle. I'm the lore master, the DM of this campaign. And I have been putting together a really fun Adventures of Middle-earth session for you guys. What else do you need to know about me other than I am here to help guide the story along, hopefully not kill the party, and, just have a jolly good time. So, yes.
That last part's up to us.
Yeah, well, partially.
Whether or not the party gets killed. Question 2 before we do get going into it. Will we have, I guess this can wait till after. Do we have any opportunity to do anything before we actually get into the melee? Like, will we have some time to be able to prepare things?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And so I'll kind of do a little brief recap of everything that happened last session, kind of going into this session. And then we'll take a step back and kind of do the preparations in the morning before. And I'll give you guys a couple of options of things that you can do before going into the melee and kind of maybe some potential results depending on what you decide to do with that. So but going into it, the nitty gritty. So this whole group of adventurers have made their way to the city of Dale for the gathering of the 5 armies, a celebration of the winning of the battle of the 5 armies and also the desolation of Smaug. And this is the first time that everybody in Wilderland has celebrated this basically week-long celebration of in the form of a giant festival. All kinds of people, very famous people from all over Middle-earth are there and enjoying themselves. And this group of adventurers have made a name for themselves while they're here. As during this celebration, there have been a number of competitions that the group has been a part of, and each of them, I believe, winning one, if not multiple, of these competitions. So that's really exciting. That's really cool. And they competed not only for cash prizes and awesome items as well, but they additionally competed for seats at the table on the very last day of the celebrate or the gathering of the five armies. King Bard in his royal palace is going to be hosting a group of basically people. They can't have everybody there all at once, and so you have to qualify to be able to get in. And while they are qualifying to get into this palace, each of our players have done so. They've all qualified. But they are, now basically have made their way to the final competition, which is the melee. It is a team competition where people could, I guess, gather to do it individually, but you could basically form teams, and the winner of this not only gets a seat at the table, but they get to sit right next to the royalty. And as the group had noticed, there are a lot of royalty here. Not only is there King Bard of Dale, but there's also we're moving. There's not only King Bard of Dale, but there is the Thranduil and all of them from the Woodland realm. There are all kinds of wonderful people. King Dain from Erabor. They saw Gandalf earlier. They saw Radagast earlier. Yeah, lots of people that are here that can maybe help them and spur them into direction. But it's really cool. So there, we actually, where we left off, the very last thing that we saw last time was they were making their way down to the outskirts of Dale, where a giant battlefield has been set up with a number of about 80 individuals that are down there, formed in teams to win this melee. And we have our party of adventurers here. They have formed a team, and as mentioned, because winning all the competitions, they've actually bonded during all these competitions and have formed a party of their own. But we're going to back up just a little bit from that, where we're going to bring us to the morning of the sixth day. And sixth day. And I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to do a couple of things before this combat begins. And one of those being you can go shopping. So you guys have earned money and whatnot, and there's actually a place called Anvil Way here in Dale where there are not only dwarf forged weapons and gear and that kind of stuff, but if you're feeling like maybe I want like an extra weapon, whatever, to be able to go into this competition to be able to suit you, now's your opportunity to shop. You may additionally try to kind of find a little bit of information on perhaps some of the people that are battling in this melee. And if you do so and you make successful checks in order to do that, kind of looking around, kind of, talking to some people, some rumors about what's going on, you will have the potential to gain preparation die, which essentially what that is a D6 to be able to add to any of these rolls that are going to be coming up here. So very useful if you want to kind of get a little bit of insight on the people that you're fighting. And then lastly, too, you will have the ability to prepare anything on your end, whether it's, preparing herbs, whether it's, I don't know if there's any, like, if you want to spend hit dice, nobody has lost HP or like anything like that, like any kind of other preparation that you feel like you might want to do the morning before. You only have a few hours before you have to go down and meet down to the field, but this is your opportunity to be able to kind of do whatever you want before, get all the things that you want checked off your list before making your way down there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to you guys. So it is in the morning. It's probably around 8 a.m. and you guys have exited your rooms of the missing scale, going around and deciding what you're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start with Valineth. What are you deciding that you want to do during this time?
Well, I want to prepare some herbs and some healing remedies for the party. Quick question. So Athelis is what it's called, right? Athelis, King's Foil. So what do I need to be in order to prepare? I have the herbalist kit, but what other things do I need in order to prepare?
You need that in time, and so it takes about per basically thing that you're making. It takes about a half hour to an hour in order to prepare each one to basically make it into something that is useful in combat. And with that, I believe on your character sheet, you can see that Athelis is 1d4 plus your wisdom score, I think. As far as HP, that's healing, which
Yeah,
at
it's
level
really
1
good.
is
By the
really
way,
good.
guys, I have a wisdom score of +5, so you're at least getting 6. So
I actually have to double check that. It might not be wisdom, but
It is wisdom. I double checked it on my character sheet.
Okay, cool. So yes, it's really pretty good, especially for very low levels. And then also you have healing, hands of the healer. To be
It's
able
only
to
I
use
can
as well.
only use it once though. But would I be able to go shopping for it as well as prepare it in the time beforehand?
How many are you preparing?
I want to prepare 2 or 3, but maybe 2 is only doable.
Okay. Yes, I would say if you're just preparing 2, you'll be able to do that. No checks needed. That's something that you're taking your time doing. And then you can go shopping.
I don't. Yeah, I want to go shopping and just do that. So.
Okay. What kind of shopping do you want to do?
Well, I need to get the actual stuff to prepare the King's Foil.
I thought you
So-
already had Athelis, a couple of them.
I have 2, but I would like to have 2 more if I could.
Oh, 2 more. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like weapons or anything, I don't think there's anything else I need to do. Unless anyone else has anything they want me to go do while I'm going shopping for some weed. Anyone? No.
Phrasing there, Dain.
what-
Phrasing.
What district? Like what part of the city?
Yeah, what part of the city is
That would be
weed in?
the market square. So number 9.
Number 9.
So just right
hell
smack
yeah.
dab in the middle.
Look,
Okay.
Faenor will go off with Valineth just to chill. Faenor doesn't need anything.
Okay.
You need you can get some information though, which might be good.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
That's really it. He's just like, you
Yeah.
got stuff you gotta do. I'm gonna head out with you.
Okay.
Okay.
He's
I
gonna
would
no, you know what?
also-
He's gonna look for a good feed
Okay.
for a fight.
All right.
Uh,
Faenor, do you want to come with me, my good sir? We're going to the market to prepare for the
What?
melee.
The market. I have been feeling awfully hungry this morning. Do you think they'll have any?
Could
good
be
slam
because
there?
you went until 1 a.m. last night dancing.
Look, that is a very. Oh wow. That did happen yesterday, didn't it? You know, it almost slipped my mind. Yeah. Okay. I need something delicious and filling.
All
I
right,
can't
well,
get that here.
This way, my boy, this way, and we make our way towards the market.
Perfect.
I will be
yes.
attempting to spy and gather information.
I love that. Is there any place specifically do you want to do it? Do you want to do that at the missing scale, or do you want to just like take the time to kind of meander around town and do that? You could do either or.
Yeah. Okay. You do these guys' things first. I will peruse the list of places available in the city and get back to you on that one.
Perfect. And then finally we have Theodric. Theodric, what do you want to be doing during this time?
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm staring at the Master of Doom feature.
Yes.
Or, sorry, cultural virtue.
Mhm.
Would the melee be a adventuring phase, or is that just combat in the middle of a fellowship phase?
No, so this is actually an adventuring phase. It's a kind of a weird adventuring phase, but it is. And so basically when you guys started the session, it was the beginning of an adventuring phase. So where a holiday truly begins is when you go to a sanctuary, and currently you guys are not at the point where you have a sanctuary to be able to kind of rest up. And so you are currently in the middle of an adventuring phase. So with that ability, I would allow you to be able to do that if you so wish. I know it's supposed to be like at the beginning, but like I will allow you to do that if you want to.
Okay, excellent. I will sacrifice 2 wisdom for 2 rolls of 2d10s.
So essentially what this is he every point of wisdom that he takes every point of wisdom that he takes away, he can roll a d10 and add it as temporary hit points. So
Oh, a d10 plus my constitution modifier.
yes, and so it's good for the entirety, but it handicaps his wisdom for the entirety of the rest of the adventure, as it were. So yeah,
It's the risk reward.
it is.
Okay,
Valineth's got
D10.
some to spare.
2d10.
I'm all the way. I got all the wisdom.
That's true.
All
I
the
got-
wisdom.
11 plus 4. So that is an extra 16 hit points.
Yep, go ahead and add those as temporary hit points onto your character.
Oh Lord! That's like double mine, more than double mine.
I now have a total of 26 HP.
Freaking
However,
dope.
At level 1.
Damn.
I have lost 2 wisdom.
That is quite literally 3 times my health right now.
That's pretty much double mine. If you go into a rage, you got what? Does that stack? Does his HP stack onto the rage as well, or like is he getting resist? Oh no, that's right. It's just resistance.
Yeah,
I am-
it just
I
halves
am-
damage taken.
Yeah, I'm
That
just-
doesn't even include Brown Horse's thick boy HP.
Oh, yeah,
he's
and
not gonna be
that is
taken
another
by
thing.
melee.
Horses and steeds are not allowed in the melee.
Ah,
It's
It'd
just
be mean if
people.
I could just trample everyone and
Yeah,
give him the jab with the spear.
Yeah, there are general rules that you guys have heard about this melee, and essentially what it is you need to form at least a group. There's not very many rules, but one of them is you can't ride horses, as many of the Knights of Dale would bring their horses. That would basically just be cavalry warfare if that was the case. There's that, and additionally on top of it, basically you're just like not. Well, I guess you could hide. But you're not allowed to like leave like the confines of like the area, so you can't just like duck out, hide in the city until like the last rounds, and then like come back in. But you have to stay basically within the confines of that. So it's like 2 very basic rules. But you guys had been spending the night kind of figuring out like some of your strategies about what you were going to do, maybe early morning. But let's go ahead and start off with Theodric. You need to tell me. What are you doing to prepare for this, or in your morning hours?
Theodric will quickly look over his gear, his weapons and armor, and then probably follow Jaylyn
Okay.
to scout the competition and see what's going on.
Perfect. And so with all of that being said, I'm going to allow each of you, so Faenor because you're doing that, Jaylyn because you're doing that, and Theodric because you're doing that, I'm going to allow you to scout out information about one person each. And then what will end up happening is, depending on the situation, we'll come together and you will not only glean information about maybe some of like the big players in this melee, but also obviously you can share that information with everybody, so everybody kind of gets that information. And then while that's happening, so you can have up to 3 people in order to do that, and then yeah, so I guess that's what we'll do. And then depending on the role, I'll give you preparation dice depending on what that entails. And so there are a number of people that you can investigate that you have heard general rumors that will be there. And so first and foremost, Elstan. So Elstan, you remember from the Joust, he is basically the first lieutenant here in Dale. He is like the right-hand man of King Bard. Another person that you have kind of heard a little bit of a rumor about throughout your time here is actually a dwarf by the name of Jorvich. He comes from Erabor, so the Lonely Mountain, but he's been kind of making a name for himself at the local taverns, but specifically at, what is it, Spitfire Alley, Flashfire Alley, what is that place called? Snapfire Alley. And so like he's kind of made a name for himself kind of over there during the festivities. So his name's Jorvich the Dwarf of Erabor. And then there is another individual too who you don't know a whole lot about these type of people, but there is actually an individual by the name of Gerald. And he is here, and rumor has it he is a Beorning from Wilderland. And last but not least, there is Garrick. So those are the 4 people that you'll potentially be able to glean a little bit of information about.
We all know who Jaylyn's gonna go glean information from.
So Gerald, Garrick, Elstan,
Obviously.
and Jorvich.
Who's getting left out?
I don't know, but Theodric is, after the events of the Joust, very, I guess, enamored by Elstan, as this is a, more elderly gentleman who's seen a lot of combat and is very veteran. So I think Theodric would want to know more about him
Perfect.
and the credible threat that he is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Faenor and Jaylyn, who would you like to investigate? Oh, can't hear you, Faenor.
God damn, I'm gonna fix that. I want to go see if I can find anything out about Gerald the Bjorning. Because
Perfect.
I have run into a couple of them, and if there's actually one going to combat, we should be worried.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then Jaylyn, who are you going after? Are you going over Jorvik or
Do you even
Garrick?
need to ask?
It's Garrick.
I have
It's Garrick.
declared Garrick to be my mortal enemy.
Okay. Okay, him and Tad. The
They're
two of them
both
are
the
peas in a
same
pod.
In her mind. In her brain, if she can defeat Garrick, she defeats Tad.
Okay, okay.
They are cut from the same cloth.
I love it.
Overcoming past trauma.
Perfect.
Yes.
And so you will be leaving out information on Jorvik, which, that's fine. That's fine. You guys are going after those three individuals to try to glean information off of them. So we'll start, as you guys kind of think about maybe some places to go do that, let's start with Valineth and Faenor. So you guys make your way into the market square, and you specifically, Valineth, are looking for herbs, some kind of herbalist to be able to...
Yes.
Yes, to be able to...
Athalis.
Yeah, for Athalis to be able to, look to see what they have. I'm going to have you make a perception check as you look around.
Perception. I think I'm pretty good at that.
No, investigation.
I'm worse at that, I think. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?
Not on purpose. I feel like this makes more sense.
Yeah. Investigation. Okay. Yeah, I'm way worse at this. Oh, but I got 18 plus 2, 20.
Ooh. Yeah, you look around and a lot of the people that are selling wares here, you can tell they're kind of shying away from anything that's a battle related, as there are a ton of people that are looking for this, and so they're getting fresh out, clean out of stock. However, you do notice that there is one stall that's kind of tucked away in the corner that is not being touched. And it looks to be, it has like a couple crates with what look like herbs. You have no idea if it's food or like something that you can eat, but there is a, basically an elderly looking gentleman that is running this stand.
I pat Faenor on the back. I'm assuming we're walking together, and I say, Faenor, my dear boy, I got to go and get some chronic for today's melee. So you just wait here, my good sir. And I make my way towards the elderly gentleman.
Perfect. You take a look at him, and he seems to be working on something. He has a bundle of what looks to be dried almost leaves, and he's tying them together in a bundle. And his hands are a little bit shaky, but each knot that he turns around is incredibly tight. And he looks up at you, and he kind of has like a small little glasses that he has, and he puts them up, and he looks and says, "Ah, what could I do for you, Master Elf?"
Is he human?
He's a human.
Okay. Hello, good sir. My name is Valineth. I come from Rivendell. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I do a nice, very courteous bow towards him.
The pleasure is all mine. It's been a while since I've seen one of the fair folk this far east in Middle-earth.
Why, I couldn't have missed this wonderful festival, of course. It's the first time it's happening, and I was out and about, and I thought I'd just drop by, get some clues here and there. However, what brings me to your stall is, I see you're working on something that I may be familiar with. What exactly are you tying up there, good sir?
Herbal remedies. It's my specialty. I come all the way from Woodman Town, and I have made my way through Mirkwood, and I'm here to sell my wares. I figured that there would be a number of individuals that would be quite keen on some of the healing powers of the Woodmen.
Why, the Woodmen are some of the best I so hear. I haven't been there myself. However, I hear great things from them. I myself happen to be a scholar, in fact, and my mother is a healer from Rivendell. And so I would love to take a look at your wares if you don't mind.
He kind of is like drawn back a little bit, like almost like not believing in the things that you're saying, but he does look you up and down, and he says, "Oh, indeed. What exactly are you looking for, Master Elf?"
Well, I will be participating in the melee with my comrades, and you know what? One of the things that I prepare the best are Athelis, or
Oh.
Kingsfoil in the common tongue. Do you have any?
Kingsfoil. Quite a rare herb indeed. Many people just pass over it, as it simply does look like a weed. And he turns around and he pulls out like this very kind of small, almost kind of like matchbox looking basically casket that he puts like in front of you, a canister. And what you can see is there are a number of items that are in there. I'm going to have you actually just roll a d20 for me, just a straight d20.
That would be a 5.
A 5. You look in it, and it looks like a mixture of things. You can tell he hasn't kept a lot of cleanliness and like separating the herbs and everything. But you are able to find what looks to be kind of one little tight bundle of Athelis that is inside. And he says, "I consider myself a folk healer back in the Greenwood, and let's say, in addition to this, would you like to buy any more of my wares? I have a great way of healing people that are weary in many, many ways."
What else would he happen to have
He
that I
draws-
can make?
He draws your attention over to the mysterious bundle that he was tying before. To you, it looks like a branch with leaves. You have no idea what this is. Actually, in all of your experience in Rivendell of like learning how to create poultices and salves and everything from nature, you've actually never seen this.
Okay. Okay. What do you happen to be tying up here? I've actually never seen this in my time.
Yes, these are the leaves that come from the trees of Mirkwood. I call it's my own remedy. As far as I know, nobody in all of Middle-earth has, sells this. It is, quite good, quite rare indeed, and very difficult to get. You must harvest these leaves right when they have reached their peak bloom, and then dry them really quickly. And if not, you don't get quite the healing power and potential out of them. He kind of talks, but I'm gonna have you make a wisdom check for me, or an insight check as he continues to speak, kind of go on and on about this.
That's a 19 plus 3, 22.
As far as what you know, he just seems to be talking around in circles. And for lack of a better term, you could tell that his healing skills are based off of the things that he's saying and his lack of information and knowledge on things. He is a folk healer. In your mind, essentially what this means is he has no idea what he's doing. He's basically a fake doctor.
He's a snake oil salesman.
Basically.
All right. So would I happen to know then if this does anything, that whatever
You
he's
don't
making-
recognize it, and based off of your information, you have no idea if this is going to be any use at all. But you did see very clearly that he did have basically one bundle of Athelis for you to be able to
Okay,
purchase.
and that would be only make one specific
Correct.
one version of it. Okay.
Correct.
Or are there any other like plants that I recognize off the top of my head? Opposed to just
You
the
look
Athelis?
around. Yeah, you look around, and there aren't a ton. A lot of it looks just like very poorly kept, unorganized, kind of almost just like a bunch of like weeds and leaves. And he just, yeah.
Okay.
So this
So-
Athelis is something that you
Yeah.
could purchase.
All right. Well, that looks mighty fine, and I don't know if I have the expertise to be able to craft such a thing. I would just take this king's foil if you don't mind. How much would that run me?
This is a little bit hard to find here in Wilderland, but I can let go of it for 2 silver pennies.
2 silver pennies, I dare say. I think to myself, do I know if this is a good deal or not? In my time,
In your experience, you don't buy
I
medicine.
don't.
You find it,
collect
so
it.
you have no idea.
Well, I guess times are hard and I am in a pinch. So I will take that, my good sir, and take this for good luck. And I give him a handshake as well.
Oh,
So.
indeed, indeed. And he, as you touch his hand, it's like a little bit sweaty, but like also like a little bit clammy, which is strange considering it's November and quite chilly. But yeah, he kind of pulls his hand away and says, "Till we meet again, Master Elf. You know where to come to find the best medicine in Middle Earth."
That I do, my good sir, and trying to be polite. And then Valineth takes it and excuses himself.
Okay.
And then he'll prepare. He'll obviously prepare it. So
Perfect. Let's go ahead and jump to, since Faenor, you are with Valineth. Let's go ahead and jump to you.
As soon as Valineth has left my side, where's the closest source of meat cooking?
Closest source of meat. So there are a number of shops. There's actually a couple like sausage link shops. A lot of human hunters have set up shop around here. You could do that. There are a number of additional like stores that have just thick cuts of like steaks, venison, whatever you could basically muster to eat. Even some bear, which is quite rare, quite a delicacy, and some goat as well. So you kind of have your pick. The ones that are selling like the bear and goat, actually, believe it or not, are dwarven salespeople, and the ones who are selling the sausages are definitely more human, and you can tell the vast majority of them probably come from Lake Town based off of what they're dressed in.
Cool. Okay. I'll probably head towards more something, not like sausages or something. Maybe if there's anything like maybe something like venison, something toward that. Someone who's cooking with spices. That's what I want to like follow my nose through it till I find something that smells good.
Yeah,
I understand when you ride a stag like your own, sometimes you just get the taste to eat it. I get it.
Oh yeah, it helps stop those like impulses. So like.
It's like instead of doing like the carrot on the stick for an Inferion to go, it's just like venison on a stick.
And it's for me.
You spur him in anger. Okay, but you do make your way to these dwarves that are preparing. They like what they are preparing smells immaculate. Oh, what could I do for you, Master Elf? As you approach.
Well, I was looking for something around here that's better than, the decent food they have around here, but something that a real expert might be able to offer me. Something new. Experience.
You do realize, Master Elf, that you are at a meat stand. It is my understanding that your people do not eat a ton of this kind of product. But as I can see, you are also not a normal elf, and they look you up and down based on your dress and everything.
Yes, I've been friend to many a man and dwarf. After a while, you just kind of get used to it. It's more of a preference thing when you're living in the Mirkwood and from what I can tell from the one high elf that I know, Rivendell. But
yes. But what can we do for you? Find something nice and rare and something quite tasty indeed.
I want something that I have to hold with two hands to eat.
And they turn around and he brings back this huge, just basically flank of meat, and just boom, as he puts it down on the stall counter, like it shakes everything, like all the knives and everything like start like rumbling and kind of falling off the counter. If you're here for an appetite, this looks like it could be your way to a full belly, at least for a few days.
Very good. Well, what is it that you have offered me? It looks fantastic. He's like licking his lips, like he's looking at this.
This is actually bear meat, and he like kind of like it is very dense. It is very thick, and you can tell like the grains of this meat are very coarse, almost muscular, not like super duper fatty. And he continues. He says, This actually was caught way up north towards the Withered Heath, where those beasties tend to dwell on the road. Yes, my people here from Erabor, we go hunting to and fro here and there in the Dalelands. And bear, we have taken a great liking to. Not only does it feed quite a few of us, but it tastes mighty fierce, just like the hunt.
Well, it seems like the kind of thing I exactly had in mind. Never eaten bear. More familiar with eating stuff like rabbit and deer.
Rabbits and deer, the things that you can find just willy-nilly running around in the forest. That's not a hunt. It's hunting the something with tooth and claw that makes you the real hunter, and you can enjoy it so much more when you have fought for your own food.
How much is this going to cost me?
For the whole thing! And he opens his eyes and looks down, looks up, looks down, looks up. The whole thing? Well, this is what we brought here. This has been here for 2 days, and it's still relatively fresh.
Wouldn't want it to spoil.
Indeed. And to be honest, between us, this hasn't been very popular amongst the locals. And he kind of just smirks and scoffs.
Let me guess, a bit too strong and gamey for them. Too used to the city foods.
Indeed. I can part with all of this meat for 5 EC. Not EC, that's Everlast currency. 5 silver pennies.
How much food is this actually? Like what's the equivalent of how many days worth of eating this am I getting out?
This is 40 pounds of meat.
Hell yeah! Faenor slams his money down on the table. Deal.
Ha ha ha! You have made me a very happy dwarf. Enjoy. This was quite the hunt to be able to catch, and it'll be quite the endeavor to eat. Hopefully you have friends.
Rubbing his hands. Can this be the exact moment that Valineth comes and walks up?
Absolutely.
What is Valineth's reaction to seeing me buying a slab of meat?
I walk up, or Valineth walks up, and he's just like, Faenor, I've been looking for you. I found the weed that I was looking for. And then he sees Faenor, and he's just like, why, that's a mighty fine slab of meat you got there. How much was it?
5 silver, actually. I'm quite surprised it's bear meat. Would you like some?
Bear meat? I can't say I've ever had such a thing. I don't know. It kind of feels weird considering that there's Beornings and what's not around. However,
it's already dead. It's not going to mind.
I guess you're right. Would Valineth happen to know if he just got ripped off with 5 silver from buying a bunch of bear meat?
Make a nature check.
Nature. Oh gosh, freaking Faenor, what are you doing?
Hey, he's all for the experiences, and he's never eaten bear.
I
so
guess 16.
16. You've never purchased bear by yourself, but this actually isn't the first time that you've seen it on the road. In your actually travels in Wilderland, you've actually seen a couple of woodman caravans with bear meat in there. And this is something that is very rare to find in Wilderland, considering who also lives in Wilderland. And basically all you don't know how much it would cost per se, but you do know being seen by the wrong individuals, Beornings, they would not be happy with this. Especially, probably not so much in Dale, but if you were caught with this in Wilderland, it would be a problem.
All right, Valineth thinks to himself, and he's just like, I mean, that's some mighty fine eats, but I don't think you should just be carrying around the slab itself. Maybe we should prepare it in a way and pack it in your bag. How does that sound?
Yeah, I turn back to the dwarf. Would you be able to cut it up into, I don't know, some smaller packages so I can fit it more easily in my pack?
Of course. What are you thinking? How many? Are you thinking bite-sized, small meal portions, or are you thinking more...
Full steaks.
Full steaks, indeed. I can do such a thing for you. If you come back by the end of the day, I'll make sure I have it ready for you.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. And the result of this, when you do pick it up, you're going to add to basically your inventory, because he's going to package it up, do the things that he's going to do. This is going to be the equivalent of 20 rations.
Sweet.
Yeah, ton of rations. So
Can I just be munching on one of them?
yeah, absolutely.
Wait,
That's
raw?
totally fine.
Are you talking raw?
It was cooked. It was cooked.
Oh.
I went to where they were cooking.
Yeah, he could
Cooking
smell
food.
it. They were cooking. They were doing their thing. But
Yeah.
perfect.
Cool. It's an intimidation factor because I'm going to be looking for info about the Bjorning.
Mhm.
So.
I love it.
Oh Lord. Well, I guess while you're getting this bear meat, look what I got, and he pulls out the king's foil.
Oh, some weeds.
I
Well,
have
as
some
you said-
weeds, but they're useful weeds, I promise. I will prepare these while you're, I guess, searching, and then I will divvy out as soon as they are ready. And Valineth heads back to the inn and starts preparing.
Perfect.
So.
And right before you guys leave, actually, a host of individuals come over to you. It looks like a group of kind of like teenage children, and they make their way over, and they all actually have held out in front of them what look to be parchments and quills, and they're like, "Oh, you're the people who won all of the tournaments. We have both of these elves. We actually haven't ever seen Sindarin written. Can you write your names for us?"
Valineth is just like, why, good children of the fair city of Dale, why, of course I can. And he goes down and in the most scrawly elven script that he knows, because he can write it real nice and real fancy, he writes, Valineth, son of Morbith of Rivendell.
Lovely. You do this. And what are you doing in the moment, Faenor?
Yeah, like these kids walk up. He like wipes like juice off like of his chin, flicks it. All right, kid, hear me that, and just writes in like pretty plain but not like simplistic script. There you go, his name.
Perfect. As you're doing this, Valineth, I'm gonna have you make a perception check for me.
Good at perception. 19.
19. You look around, and all of a sudden, you're brought aware to the attention of somebody standing behind you. You turn around, and it is a woman around this. Oh, not woman, a girl around the same age who is kind of like standing there shyly, and she has like her little quill and like her. And she actually, you notice her because she bumped into you, and she's just like, and she kind of holds up her pen without even saying anything. And basically asking if you will sign for her.
Valineth gives a nice, like, very kind and gentle smile, and he kneels down because I'm assuming she's way shorter than he is. He's like
a
6
little
foot
bit.
tall.
Okay, so yeah, she's shorter. I don't think you need to kneel down for her. She's like a teenager.
Okay. He puts his hand on her head and he's like, "Young one, why of course I can do it. What's your name?"
And she kind of looks kind of down at her parchment and then looks up, and she's barely able to muster like very quietly. You see, my name's Brindle. And as you look at her, you can see that like there's kind of like, you could tell she hasn't bathed in a very long time, which is odd for the people here at the city. Yeah, you can tell that she's probably like with the group of kids that she's with, not kids, teenagers that she's with, she's definitely the dirtiest of them.
Okay. Like poor dirty or like just,
her
like,
clothes
rough
are a
and
little
tumble?
her clothes are a little bit raggedy. She has clear signs of like dirt, and like the cuffs of her pants and like boots are like very well worn.
Okay.
And
So
like her hair's like kind of like disheveled, and like
it's not just children being children kind of messy. It's like
it's
it's
she
permanent
looks poor.
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Valineth writes, Brindle, what a beautiful name. Faenor, come over here for a second. We have a fan. And he calls Faenor over.
Yes. Oh, hello. What is your
So-
name?
Brindle. And she kind of like squints her eyes and looks down. Like almost every single word that she says is like almost painful. And you can tell that it's like visibly like she's like this mixture of shy, but also like almost kind of like this like look of shame on her face too.
Boy, Brindle, and in Valineth, as he's writing, he makes it very, like, not like any of the other boys, but he makes it a very personalized message to her. At your service, Valineth, son of Morbith, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, Brindle. And he turns to Faenor. Faenor, if you wouldn't mind signing this, that would be great. And then as Faenor's doing it, I turn to Brindle and I say, Brindle? So, are you Dalish? Are you from the city of Dale?
I live here now, yes.
Oh, you live here now. So where are you originally from, you and your family?
She kind of like points. She points like in the south direction. We're from Lake Town.
From Lake Town. And as she's writing and stuff, Valineth kind of like looks around, just still very wary of the pickpockets. No pickpockets. Like the hooligans aren't going to be hooligans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
All right. Okay.
They're like chatting with each other and they're like, oh, really cool. Kind of like, you know, like boys with trading cards or whatever. Like they're like, super pumped about what they have. So
cool. Perfect. Why? How is your mother and father? Are they still around?
She looks up to you, and I'm going to have you make an insight check.
Not great. 12.
12. There's this, like, air of mystery to her eyes, almost as if she's, like, hiding something.
Oh.
But she doesn't say anything. She doesn't actually respond or, like, give you, like, any, like, verbal signs of, like, head shakes or anything like that. She just kind of looks up to you.
Well, Valineth smiles, and he's like, well, you know my name. My name is Valineth. If you happen to need anything, please come and find us. We're staying at the lost scale? Broken
Missing scale.
Missing scale.
Does this girl look particularly starved at all? Like, she looks poor, like scruffy, but is she particularly thin at all? I do have a lot of food on me.
She's pretty thin.
He has a whole bear with him.
Yeah, I'm actually,
right,
I'm
a whole haunch of a bear, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her. I'm like, look, I don't know what you're going through. Obviously, there's something here that you don't want to tell us. I understand we're strangers, but if this can help, and I give her 5 of the rations.
5. Yeah, you basically take like 5 of these like individually packaged like butcher paper rations, and you just like plop them in her arms, and she's like holding that with kind of like on top of it the like paper and like quill. She's like, she like kind of like cracks a smile in like the corner of her mouth and says, thank you. And then she kind of just like hurriedly starts walking away into the crowd.
What a strange child.
Yeah,
She's all right.
Valineth chuckles to himself. He's like, ha, 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 I never took you for such a kind caregiver, Faenor, and he pats Faenor on the back.
Yeah, I just kind of look at him like, we've only known each other for a few days. I'm quite charitable. What about my demeanor makes you believe I wouldn't be?
Well, you were a fierce competitor on the battlefield. I don't know. I just didn't take you for such a charitable kind of guy. Yeah.
It's because yeah. Never mind. I don't even want to talk to you about it. Let's go.
Oh. Well, I am happy to be in the company of wonderful company, I should say. And he'll laugh to himself, as he walks through the crowd with Faenor.
Perfect. Yeah. So you guys are going to search the crowd for rumors of a Beorning, specifically Gerald. Let's go ahead and jump over to Theodric and Jaylyn. Who do you want to search information out about first? Do you want to do Elstan, or do you want to do, what's his name? Why am I spacing?
Garrick.
Yeah, Garrick.
We should look for Elstan first. He's more dangerous. We've already humiliated Garrick twice. Like, I'm sure doing it a 3rd time won't be hard.
Yeah, I get a more idea of his character. Anyway, please take the lead.
Perfect.
Unless you.
Okay. if we are looking for information on Elstan, where is it? Where is that nice little? There we go. I think probably the best way to ask about information on him would probably be what do you reckon? Maybe, like, should we just look for information at the where is it? The guard tower, like the nest? Would it be best to ask the other guards, like, what he's like as a commander?
I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. We could definitely try. I don't think the guards that are underneath him will be inclined to give us information that we could use against him in the battle.
True. True.
Because he does have quite a large following of Fanes in the city.
He does,
I guess
absolutely.
We'll
if this
with...
was like the World Cup or whatever, like everybody's wearing Elstan stuff.
Okay, we'll start with Garrick then, because he's not very well liked, I feel, so he'll be easier to get information.
Well, he has his little following. Yes. I actually have a plan for this. Okay, so Jaylyn is going to go ahead and find some, like, candies or sweets or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to set up in the town square.
Okay.
And just sort of, like, pander to the ever-present crowd of adoring fans that follows us around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, play some songs. Ooh, there's a girl in my window. You know, tell some stories and stuff like that.
Okay, great.
And then the idea is to bribe, like, particularly the kids into, like, being a little bit spy and giving us info that way.
Okay. So you do so. As you do, and like the kids do come to you, you have like a small following. Definitely younger kids than what just talked to Valineth and Faenor. They do come, and they're super excited about, you know, any kind of sweets or anything like that. You give them out, and you give them kind of information. What kind of things do you want them specifically to do as far as spying? Like, because whatever they have to do it quick. Relatively.
Okay, so basically, so what are Garrick's, like, qualities he'd like? What major battles has he won? And what major battles has he lost? The details over that.
Okay.
See if we can get, like, an overarching view of his skills.
I'm going to have you make a persuasion check, and this is going to be at a +2. To try to persuade the kids, and essentially what this is going to be is I'm going to make a check on my end, and based off of your check, the DC is going to be lower for them on their check. So, mechanically speaking, that's how that's going to work.
With a +2 is 22.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. So you do, and you would just like spin your silver tongue towards them. Like, we need to find out this information. It would be such a big help, like all those types of things. And so they scatter off in every direction to go try to find information about Garrick. And some of the kids kind of generally told you from what they did. Like, some of them are like, oh, like, he's really scary. And like another one says, yeah, my parents don't like him very much and what he does, but like they go and do like their thing and kind of find out information about what they can, like what he's doing to prepare, all of those things, any kind of weaknesses, whatever. So they scatter. And as they're doing that, Theodric, how are you going? What are your kind of thoughts about how to approach Elstan?
Theodric is thinking maybe he should be trying to talk to the city guard when they're off duty.
Okay.
You know, maybe play up the angle of the naive boy kind of being enamored with this great warrior. And, like, you know, kind of that whole, like, oh boy, tell me a war story kind of situation, you know? And hoping that gets him.
Perfect. Yeah,
the
there's a number of them, although one thing that you have noticed in your time here, off-duty guards are difficult to find because they're not in suits and armor. You kind of almost have to know the general demeanor. Like, they're always kind of scanning even when they are off-duty, and so that's a general sign. So I'm going to actually have you make a perception check as you look for some of these guards.
Okie dokie. Where is my perception? There it is. That is a 13.
Is this in the town square, or are you going somewhere else for this?
I was thinking of maybe just going back to the missing scale.
Okay, perfect. So you do so, and you're kind of sitting at a table, and you're examining the room and looking around, and you notice that there are a number of people who do look like they are on watch. You're not really... I mean, they're not dressed in armor or anything like that. You're not sure if they're just, people that are people watching, however, or if they're guards. But you do notice that there are 3 groups of individuals. One of them is off by himself. There's a couple at a table, a man and a woman. The woman seems to be chatting, and the man is chatting back, but he keeps glancing around, almost checking everything. Still engaged in conversation, but loosely. And then there is a group of 3 men that are sitting at another table, and they are discussing something as well. Is there any of those individual groups that you would wish to investigate?
I think I'm going to investigate the group of 3 men.
Okay. You stand up and you make your way over to them, and they're joyfully in conversation. You can tell definitely the air of the day is really a buzz, and they "Oi, you're the one who beat Elstan in the nightly joust competition. Well done indeed. What brings you here?"
Oh, well, just trying to, enjoy a drink and relax before the melee. And
But enjoy a drink? You've barely even got chest hairs on you.
we do things a bit differently in Rohan.
I told you so. We were actually curious looking at you over there, what you're doing alone. Don't you have a group of friends that you hang out with?
Oh, they're getting prepared for the melee, checking their weapons, making herbs and whatnot.
Ah, so you're going to be a part of that too?
Hopefully, yes.
Well, no offense. You might have beaten Elstan you might have beaten him in the joust, but when it comes to the melee, and the other 2 agree, when it comes to the melee, you have no shot. You do realize that he is a captain and one of the commanders of Dale.
Yes, he did strike me as quite the veteran, quite the commander.
Yes. And you do realize that he was there side by side with our King Bard when that dragon was slain, right?
Yes, I'd heard that, but I don't know the details. May I sit while you tell me more?
Haha, indeed. I'm going to have you make a persuasion check as you sit down to see just how open they're going to be willing to talk to you about. Okay. You're playing this facade, but make a persuasion check for me.
It is a 17.
17. They welcome you in with open arms. They sit down, lad. Now let me tell you. And they begin just telling you all kinds of things about Elstan. Essentially, when King Bard became the King of Dale, Elstan was among the first to swear loyalty to him. And his old kind of haggard appearance is not a reflection on his actual age. And so he's younger. In fact, he's actually younger than King Bard. And King Bard is maybe at this point, maybe in his late 40s. And so he's not that old, but his haggard kind of gray appearance just makes him. And so they tell you, it's just oh yeah, it's one of those things. He has this facade of, being older, but he's not. He's very strong and very eager to fight. They talk about what he wears into battle, and they're super kind of fanboying over the armor and stuff that he uses. You find out that he actually wears dwarven forged armor. And so this is forged inside Erabor. But the thing that is most impressive is actually the shield which he bears. It is a shield that is unique and is actually a shield of heraldry of Dale, like ancient, well, not ancient, but old Dale. And this was actually reclaimed from the debris in the ruined city when they started rebuilding. And so this is something that he wears proudly as the first commander of Dale. And he is clearly, very clearly, the favorite actually to win this. They think that there are a number of like really skilled individuals, but he is going to be there. And rumor has it, he is bringing 4 of his best men in order to fight alongside him. And the biggest reason is he doesn't want any treachery happening, and he doesn't want anyone sitting next to his king. And so he is there to protect the right hand of his king. So he's there on a mission to win this. So, yeah.
Excellent.
With that, actually, I'm going to have you, you get inspiration dice. So each of these inspiration dice are going to basically essentially be one use that the entire party has cumulatively. And so, you get 1 dice. This is 1 dice, and essentially what it is it's a D8. 1 D8 to be able to use it. Any one of you can use it, but once it's used, it's used. And so discuss on how to use it. Good. You were able to glean some really good information from there. So let's go ahead and move back to Jaylyn as we figure out what's going back. So you wait a little bit. Are you doing anything in the meantime while the kids are out doing their stuff?
Just more of the same, I think. I wanna, like... Yeah, so, like, I know I'm gonna be a bit conspicuous if I go out and look for information, and the kids know where to look for it anyway, so I'm just gonna sit here, do my thing, play some songs, tell some stories.
Perfect. And you do so.
Time.
And people are very, like, keen to hearing. A lot of people have no idea what Erabor is, like the region that you're from, and like just like the stories of Dale is complete rumor to where you lived, your stories are complete rumor to the people here of Wilderland. And they're sitting there and they're just like amazed at like your adventures and whatever you decide to tell them, the songs that you're able to sing, like it's all so different to them, and they're just like, wow, this is amazing. I'm gonna actually have you make a performance check for me while you do this.
Yeah. Just a bard doing bard things.
Bard doing bard things.
Very well. It's 21.
And at the end of all of this, they're actually, you weren't asking for money, but they're going to be giving you some money. Go ahead and add to your inventory 4 silver pennies.
Thank you.
Perfect. And as you're doing this, the kids do come back every now and then, and they kind of pull you aside, and they're like, Miss Jaylyn, I found out some really good information, perhaps that could be useful about Garrick.
Okay, what'd you find?
And this is just like an accumulation. Well, he's the leader of a group of knights. They're called the Black Arrows. I'm told that he's a hero of kind, and he's responsible for, and him and his group of Black Arrows are responsible for getting rid of all the orcs and evil people in the Breland. Not in the Breland, in the Daleland. Definitely not the Breland. In the Daleland. And, it sounds like a lot of people don't like him, even though he's a hero. Another one comes in and is like, I know why. And they just kind of like play off each other. You see, he apparently goes out and about, and he not only protects people that are out in the local villages and farmsteads, but he kind of sometimes just takes what he wants. He goes in there and he's not very good. Oh, and I heard something else. And another one chimes in. Apparently the king doesn't like him very much. He does a very good job at what he does, but he doesn't like the way that he does it. That's the information that you're able to glean from the things that they're able to get.
That is very valuable information.
And with that, the last one comes and says, They say that he is always with with the other black arrows. And the fact that they've taken on that name seems to have rubbed the king the wrong way. That's something that he takes near and dear to his heart. The black arrow, the one that killed Smaug. And he took that upon himself, and he calls his group that. If he's going to be fighting, chances are he'll be surrounded by a group of black arrows. So that's that. You go ahead and get one more D8 preparation dice for the group.
Very nice. So I have 2 totals.
Total of 2 for the party.
Very nice.
Do you have anything to respond to that before moving on?
Sort of pander to the audience a bit and just be like, now who would you like to see win this, me or Garrick?
They talk, and then a number of them just immediately, Garrick, of course. No. I want Elstan. I think Elstan will win. And then a number of them are just like, I think she can do it. She did really good with the riddle contest. She seems really bright, very smart. And then another couple of them are just like, have you seen Elstan? He helped kill that dragon. He was also in the Battle of the 5 Armies. This girl, she's really good with her music and all, but can she really fight? And it almost kind of like this bickering amongst the crowd with each other about like what they think.
I'll divvy up the rest of the candied almonds. Maybe I slip in a few extra to the people who think I'm gonna win, but who's to say?
Okay.
And I'll just be like, well, whoever you think will go to win, whoever you want to go to win, try and get there as early as you possibly can and cheer as loud as you can for whoever you want to win.
Oh, we will. Don't you worry. It's so great getting to know you and your whole story. I feel like I know your entire life. It's amazing. I probably know more about you than I do about Elstan.
You can't tell an entire life in 3 hours.
Indeed. I guess. And then they go on.
You're very eloquent for a kid. How old are you?
No, they're just the people in the crowd. In general. And then there are kids. Kids are cheering for you. You've given them candy. That's a shoo-in. You got them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm not paying attention to any of the adults.
I love it. Perfect. Which then brings us to Faenor. So you're looking for information on a Beorning by the name of Gerald. I'm going to have you make an investigation check as you look around and try to figure out who might be the best source of information for this.
Yeah, I got a 15.
15. You look, and it doesn't take you too long as Valineth has kind of made his way back to the Missing Scale to meet up, where he does eventually meet up with Theodric back there in the Missing Scale. But you look around in the town square, and you actually see a group of individuals who are wearing very heavy fur clothing. This clothing is very reminiscent of the Woodmen. They could be promising.
Cool. Do any of them appear to be woodmen from Woodmanton, or no?
You don't recognize any of them, but they're very clearly woodmen.
Yeah. Oh, hi there, man. How are we? Coming in? Where are you from? Woodmanton? From one of the halls out there?
We're from Woodman Hall. You are an elf, I see, and if I'm not correct, you're the one who rides the stag out there. Is that correct?
Yes, that actually is correct. Actually found that stag out by Woodmanton. So we're, he's a resident from down there. I spent some time down there. I'm quite used to the Woodman way of life. How are you? What are you doing in town? Are you part of the melee? Are you coming to partake in the festival?
No, there's actually a group of woodmen that are participating in the melee, but what we've really come to see is we've come to see a Gerald the Great.
Yes,
that's why we're here.
Beorning, right? I've only heard rumor of him through the crowds.
Soon enough, a rumor will become reality. He is a beast of a man. I'm going to have you make a traditions check for me.
An 11.
11. You have met a couple Beornings in your time. And so the fact that they mentioned that this is a beast of a man does make sense. But honestly, you aren't quite sure of the scale, as all of them seem big, and they're traditionally bigger than most other cultures and races of men. But they kind of look at you like almost like intrigued. You do realize some say that Gerald is a direct descendant of Beorn.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Valineth, have you ever met a Beorning?
He's gone.
Oh,
Valineth echoes in the back of your head. There's bear meat in your bag. There's bear meat in
yeah,
your bag. That's it.
oh, yeah, okay, cool. I just wasn't. Okay. Really, I've only ever met a few Beornings in my time. You say that this man is more impressive than they.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
How are we
indeed.
talking? Is this man a great warrior? You say he's a direct descendant of Bjorn himself, but
That's
doesn't
what
really
they.
give me a perspective here. Has
That's
he
what they say.
participated in any of the other events?
So there are a number of things that he does. Gerald spends most of his time in Esgaroth, actually east of the Mirkwood. And he comes to and from Dale. He's not a trader, but he has amassed quite a bit of wealth. Here, in these competitions, he has not made an appearance. He has come for the melee. And they say that the winner of this melee not only gets a seat next to King Bard himself, but will make his riches worth in gold. And that is what he is after. He is a mercenary. He goes to and from, fighting evil, fighting orcs, fighting wicked men. All throughout Wilderland. Name it, he's been there. And they say, rumor has it, he is also a skin changer, like Beorn. Which is why
that would be rich. Oh yeah, no, I very much doubt it. Can you imagine being able to change into an animal?
Right, they kind of look at each other like warily, and they glance at you like, I thought that rumor was serious, things like that. But they're just like, crazy. One thing that you have known, though, Faenor, from spending time with the Woodmen in Woodman Town is the Woodmen have a love-hate relationship with the Beornings. As many of them that like the Beornings, just as many of them don't like the Beornings. These look to be fans of Beornings, and they kind of divulge a little bit of information about how they do a really good job of protecting Wilderland from evil. And so the thing that is very evident in the things that they're saying and the things that they're speaking is this Gerald is a warrior. And they even say that, he wears no mask, he wears no armor. In fact, his flesh is armor enough to be able to withstand the blows of many a blade. And everywhere he goes, he's offered free drink. Everywhere he goes, he does what he wills, and nobody stops him. He has made a name for himself. And they say that his axe is enough to completely split an orc right down the middle with just one cut. And they talk all of these things about building him up to be almost this god of a man. You say you're participating in this melee?
Yes, I was going to be. I've got me and some of my compatriots are going to be participating. Yeah, I don't see why not. Seems like we've got as decent a chance of winning as anyone else.
If you were a smart individual, if your party was a smart group, stay away from Gerald as long as possible. He doesn't go with a group of individuals to protect him. He is an army all into himself. Anyone that fights him anyone who attempts to fight him in the early rounds are bound to have a bad time of it. Fight him while he's weaker, but don't you dare think that he is going to be weak. Even in the later rounds, if you are able to progress to such things, He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Perhaps a little bit tired, but still a force, as it were.
Thank you. No, thank you. He does seem to be quite interesting. As I said, I was trying to find out some more about him myself, considering you don't really see Bjornings here in Dale.
Indeed. Well, not much is known about him other than rumors of his heroics and his wealth and his fury.
Well, hopefully if I am defeated on the battlefield, it is by him.
Yes, and what a glorious way to fall.
A worthy battle.
Yes, indeed. You can go ahead and add a preparation dice as well. This is going to be another D8.
So we have 3 of those in total.
So over the course of this melee, essentially these preparation dice are specifically for the melee. And so at any point, whether it's anybody's rolls, whether they're checks, whether they're attack rolls, whatever the case, damage rolls, you can roll one of these if you feel that it's going to be helpful enough to be able to increase your roll. But again, you have 3 of them total. Once one of them are spent, it's gone. So talk amongst yourself during the melee and try to figure out the best way to be able to use them. Perfect. And with that, we're going to go ahead and fast forward, unless anyone has any last-minute things to where we ended off last session. We good? All right. And so you make your way down into the battlefield. It is early afternoon as you see a number of people, including you. It looks to be totaling around 80 people that are down there. There's a number of groups. There looks to be a group of woodmen, a group of what looks to be Elstan and his warriors, another group of Dalish warriors, which have capes that are not the traditional scarlet, but on the backs they're purple with black arrows upon them. You see dwarves of the Lonely Mountain. And additionally, one thing that you do pick up is you don't see any elves participating in this fight. It's all basically men and dwarves and you guys, and then the 2 elves that are part of your party. And then you see standing out in the middle of the field, wielding 2 hand axes, is this behemoth of a man. And based off of the conversations that you've had, this is very clearly Gerald, the famed Beorning warrior. So, how this competition is going to work, how this melee is, there's going to be a total of 3 rounds. And so these first 2 rounds are not going to be combat per se, but it is going to be a bit of flavor as we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of what you guys are going to be doing in the first 2 rounds in order to progress to the next rounds. And so what that's going to be is there's going to be 2 checks. So the first round is going to be and all of these are going to be melee attack. Whatever your melee weapon is, your main melee weapon, it is going to be that roll for each of these checks. And based on what you tell me, based on what you're going to do and how you want to approach it, you may get modifiers to that, or in some cases, you may just skip the check and automatically pass it altogether. But I want you guys to think about and work as a group, or you don't have to. You can just kind of do whatever the heck you want, whatever you decide you want to do. For this very first round of combat, we are going to essentially, if you have any skills, I think at level 1 you probably don't, but if you have any skills that you can argue to me that you can use in order to make your not only presence known, but something that puts you above and beyond. So like if you have any like I don't know, like cultural virtues or anything like that. Again, I don't think you do be able to have that. But essentially what that would do is it would automatically allow you to pass. However, you can do something. It's like if you want to do something like sneak around and like you can make a stealth check. If you want to do something like, you know, run full force into battle, you can make like an athletics check for me. If you want to do something like staying in the back and aiming from the back, basically I will have you make a dexterity checks for me. Whatever the case, tell me what you're going to do in order to survive the first round of combat. And we're going to have a similar thing as after this first round and people start falling and basically being disqualified. The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to make another check in order to see if you can make it to the last one standing. It's going to be a lot of the same thing, what you guys are doing, who you're like, and these can be things like, who are you going after? Who are you targeting? Like, what are you doing during this moment in the melee in each round? And then that'll kind of help determine. And then once you guys have figured out everything, based on the checks that you've made, you're going to make your melee check. And those things that you tell me you're doing might give you bonuses, benefits, modifiers. It might actually detract from what you're doing as well, and give you negative modifiers to your rolls. And so be very careful, be very thoughtful of what you're going to do, and then you're going to make that roll. At the end of the roll, based on your results, you are going to lose a portion of your hit points going into the final round. And so you will not be starting the final round most likely with a full set of hit points. And that's going to be the case for everyone. It's not just you guys. I'm rolling separately for all of the groups about how they're doing, how they're fighting. And so you're not going against a completely healthy, full HP set of individuals. But it also depends on how I roll too, based on how much HP they will have left. I will say, based on your checks, the only way for you to be immediately disqualified is if you roll a natural 1. And I'll go over it, I'll basically go over it. So that might be a good opportunity to use a preparation dice. Actually, a preparation dice wouldn't help you because it's a natural 1. It's not modifiers. So natural 1, if you roll that during your check, then it'll be a problem. And you as a individual, and not like your dexterity checks or anything like that, but your weapon check, if you roll a natural 1, you have been dropped to 0 hit points at any point, and you have been removed until the last round. And in the last round, we're going to play it out as a combat if you guys do survive up until that point. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do that. So you have this battlefield that is spread out before you, and I'm actually going to post it right here for you, so you can kind of generally see what is going on. And so this battlefield, it runs south in kind of like the southern portion of Dale, the city of Dale. And it takes place along the roads, kind of between like a rocky hill outcropping, and actually the river running that comes from the Lonely Mountain that goes through, kind of passes through the east of Dale and down through. So that's going to be the southern border of that. And then there is essentially like a small tiny outcropping of trees on the far northwest, and then obviously there's a crowd that's gathered, and that's going to be your furthest north boundary. And so you're kind of in this small little arena, and the rules, as it were, is you cannot leave this arena in any way. You can try to maneuver, use the environment to your advantage. If you see any environmental details that you feel might help you get a better chance of survival, whatever you want to do, do it. But we're going to go ahead and start with the first round. And so the announcer comes out and he addresses the crowd. He addresses everybody for the melee. In a number of minutes, we will be beginning the melee here in Dale, the grand event to end this celebration, this gathering of the 5 armies. This is supposed to be an iconic recreation of the Battle of the 5 Armies, where all of the heroes from all over Wilderland have gathered together to be able to show each other the might of their people. And those who do end up winning this, the group that has made it to the very end and are the last ones standing, not only are gifted a seat to the table tomorrow night, but they are additionally granted seats next to all of the royalty from all of the royal families of the lands. This is something to be very proud of. This is something that is not for the faint of heart. And as we can see, we have representatives from most individuals that are here. And I am very pleased to be able to see each and every one of you with stout hearts and stout minds as you face down each other in friendly combat. Just because it's friendly doesn't mean it will be light. It does not mean that it will be without bloodshed here and there. Good luck to each and every one of you. Again, those left standing at the end of this melee will be the winners. And not only will they receive a place at the king's head table, but they will also receive their fair share in gold. Now let the battle commence, and all of you make your way to various areas of this battlefield. Where do you want your group to start? So you all have a time to be able to figure out your starting battle locations.
So maybe round 1. I don't know if, for example, your guys' rage will last. Because how many uses of that do you have, Theodric and Faenor?
2.
2.
2.
And
Okay.
it stops if you do not deal damage or do not take damage.
Okay.
So
It'll last for like a minute. 10
yes, so 10 rounds of combat.
Okay. Would this be something we use first round? I guess it depends on where we are positioned, I guess.
Yeah.
I will tell you
think
this
the strategy
melee.
here.
This melee is going to last longer than just like the final of combat. So when we get into the final round of combat, if you make it there, it obviously will be normal kind of D&D combat time. But you can assume that this combat, as it were, is probably going to take anywhere from 30 minutes to about an hour total before it's completely over. And so with those things that are like specific, it's like your rage lasts a minute. It could help you get through the first round. It could help you get through the second round if you decide to reactivate it. Based off of kind of what I'm seeing, I'll kind of determine based on like how you guys are going to do it and how you approach your rage. You might be able to do that. But just as well, you could save it to the final round too.
Yeah.
I think the strategy here is to take down like the smaller guys first and let the big guys battle it out like amongst themselves.
Valineth looks at Mr. Jeffrey, what's his name? The freaking
Gerald.
Gerald. Yeah, Gerald. He's like, I don't know what that is, but I don't want any part of that right now.
We would have briefed you on like what we found, I think.
Yes.
And Valineth also takes out 3 of his king's foils for the party as well. And he's like, unfortunately, I was only able to prepare 3 of these. I do need one for myself. I am unable to use my elven healing on myself, so I have to have one of these. However, maybe I give one to Jaylyn, because I know she might need it HP wise.
Yeah, okay.
And then I look at Theodric and Faenor. All right, who wants it, boys?
Faenor, what kind of weapons are you using right now?
Faenor has access to a bow, a great spear, a long spear, 3 throwing. Sorry, here. Let me just double check that I've got it all.
An arsenal. Okay.
He's
Great
an army
spear,
of one
a
too.
belt dagger, 3 hand axes,
He just does like the
a net,
matrix in
a
his-
shield, a short bow, a spear. So,
Sorry.
yeah.
Dumps
Is
it
a
all in
shield
front of him.
included in any of that?
I'm sorry.
Is a shield included in any of that?
Yes, I do have a shield.
Okay. What AC does that shield give you?
I end up on
It's a
17.
+2.
Once I have.
Oh, Lord!
Okay.
What would we do without tanks, Dain?
Okay.
What would we do?
What's Theodric looking like when?
18 AC. So I have a high AC, and I now have 25 hit points. Sorry. You take the medical kit, or the herbal kit.
And Valineth hands it to him. So each one of you have a Athelis. Athelis. So you can look Athelis. So ATHELAS.
Is it possible to administer it to the other person if they fall unconscious?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
And so the way that Athelis works is it's essentially you can use it on yourself. It's already prepared. And so essentially what it is it's a poultice that if you get wounds, you can rub it in there. And not only does it immediately alleviate pain, but I believe it heals 1d4 plus wisdom of whoever's administering it is the wisdom of that person. So it's helpful in that way. And then you can use it on the people. Like, let's just say someone has gone down unconscious in combat. You can rub the Athelis into their wounds and potentially bring them up, essentially, with the whatever you roll.
Can I actually give Valineth my normal spear as well? It's alone, but I want to give that to you so you have more potential for if someone does run up on you.
would that be better for my dex? Because I'm a dexterity base is what I use. Is spear dexterity?
Let me check.
I think it's strength.
Because my strength is nothing. It's just +0, whereas my dexterity.
It is a
+4.
versatile weapon, so you could use your dexterity with it.
Okay. And that's better than a dagger, so yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's got more reach, I think.
What kind of spear is it?
It's still it's just a spear, common spear. It still only has a 5-foot reach, but it's a D6 plus 2.
All right, it's better than a dagger. I'll take
Well, plus your dexterity.
it. Yeah.
Cool.
And I do think, is it that you can wield it with 2 hands as well to
So increase it to a
change it
D8.
to a D8? Yeah. So you can just add that through D&D Beyond, but I'll just remove unequip mine for now.
I appreciate it, Faenor, as I exchange the King's Foil with him.
Is versatile like you can do it one or two-handed, and then finesse is the use dexterity instead of strength?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
It might
that's
be.
how
It
it
might be
is.
that.
I'm
So
sure
like
it
for
is.
example, Jalen's broadsword
I
is a
always get
finesse
confused.
weapon. Versatile is going to be a strength score.
Strength. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll still have it just in case. For
You can
now.
throw it
I'll
at
give
someone.
it back. I'll give it
Yeah. If Jaylyn goes down, you can have my sword.
All right. Sounds good. Is sword dexterity?
Her broadsword is.
Mine is, yeah. Mine's special.
It's the Adventurous and Middle Earth equivalent to the rapier, but rapiers don't
okay.
exist in Middle Earth, so it's a broadsword. So
Cool.
Cool.
Sounds good. Well, perfect. Well, thank you very much. I'm gonna be using my bow for now, but hopefully that doesn't affect anything. So,
Hopefully
anyways,
you don't need to use this.
based what we see on the field, can we
Yes.
see exactly where everyone is placed about for where we can position ourselves?
you can basically everything will be positioned based off of where you want to go.
Okay.
Oh, that's cheating.
I was thinking, I really like the look of this like rock.
They have starting positions, by the way. So they have starting positions. If you take their starting position, they will swap it with your original starting position.
Okay,
FYI.
cool. So like this rocky outcropping up on the top left, that's like at the top of a hill.
Yeah.
That
I kind of
looks
like
nice
that too.
for Valineth to be
Yeah.
shooting from.
Yeah, at least Faenor too. To
Yeah.
start.
we could probably hold that pretty easily.
It
between-
provides a good bottleneck up
Yeah.
to that space. People would have to either climb up the space, or like climb up the wall off to the side, or come up to that main path.
Yeah.
By the
So
way-
it would provide a good defensive position for us to operate from.
right?
Yeah, maybe round one. You could do that. Jaylyn, do
I-
you have anything
Yeah.
ranged or anything that you could use potentially?
No, I'm not big on ranged weapons, but
Yes, you do. There's rocks. There's plenty of rocks surrounding.
no, you're
She has a vendetta against them.
confusing Jaylyn. Jaylyn doesn't mess with rocks.
I know. I'm being a butt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I understood the intent. I just took it seriously, which I apologize.
The one thing to consider is, if we are up there, what do we do if someone like the Bjorning, like Gerald, comes for us? Someone who is much stronger than what we want to try and deal with in the early steps of this. Are we just going to try and move down, like slide down the hill? Like, what's our escape strategy?
Yeah, quick question as far as like the lore master goes. Would that be a possibility, or is that just like instant
Yeah,
death?
absolutely. You'd have to make checks and everything. So it's not a rocky hill specifically. This hill itself looks like it used to be some kind of old fortification. So there's kind of a small ruin that's at the top. It's barely like it can provide you from essentially the east and the north half cover. And so anything, if anyone's like trying to shoot anything up here, it'll provide half cover. However, it is a bottleneck. If you tried to make your way kind of down these more like, it's a more gradual decline down this back end, or if you try to jump down, you'll probably take more damage jumping down the steeper incline than you are about the gradual. But you
I
could
think
roll down there, or just
I think the benefits outweigh the like, you know.
At least for round one
Potential
when we're
death,
trying to
yeah.
play defensive. Yeah.
I got it.
And think about almost every fortress ever was built on a like uphill for a reason. So
Heck yes. We're
Exactly.
Australians. We don't know when to quit.
Also, is there any way, instead of like making any specific attack or anything, Valineth wants to spend this first round? Obviously, he's gonna make an attack with his bow, but he really wants to, since he's kind of up on high ground, observe like weaknesses in what he can see out on the battlefield of some of the other more daunting foes. So that's what he's gonna be doing.
Okay, and this is exactly what I wanted to move into. So you guys have your positioning and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and place you guys up on the top of this hill. And as that's happening, so you will kind of be firing shots, but more than that, you will be kind of scouting and observing like what's going on like at the battlefield and what you're seeing in the strategies. So I'm going to have you, Valineth, make I'm going to have you make an intelligence check for me as you roll that down.
I'm real good at intelligence.
Theodric, Faenor, Jaylyn, what are you guys doing?
Faenor probably wants to have his spear out next to him, but he's going to be using his bow unless someone directly tries to come up to like contest us here.
Okay.
But more than that, he's just more on observe. Like he's more focused on the immediate area on trying to keep this location secure.
Okay. And so if you're doing that, I'm going to have you make an athletics check. As anyone who comes up to try to confront you, you're going to attempt to fight them off with your spear. And attempt to contest them and push them back down towards the bottom of the hill.
Yep.
Okay, Jaylyn and Theodric.
Okay. I would. Okay. This is a stretch.
Okay.
But I do have a starting virtue called friendly and inquisitive.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is I'm super friendly. Can I attempt to come off as super friendly to people who are trying to attack us and just like catch them off guard while I swing at them with my little sword?
Okay. So you are making your way. So a couple of things. If you want to do that, I will actually, depending on how you play that out, I will allow that to be able to get you to automatically pass the first check. However, because you are friendly, because you are inquisitive, you will not be able to fight back anyone, and it depends on where you're standing. So no one is going to target you if you wish to do it, but you have to be pacifist this round. So you are not going to be essentially fighting anybody that's there. Faenor, Theodric, and Valineth can fight people that are coming up there, but you are going to be sitting there, and they will look at you, and with your demeanor, your friendly inquisitiveness, they just won't aim attacks at you. And so you will automatically pass it at a natural 20. Essentially, that's what it is. You automatically pass it as a natural 20, which means that you will not lose, essentially. Or if you want to play it off where it's just like, oh, like, look at this, like, I'm being deceptive with it, I'm going to actually have you make a check. However, if the check is, like, I'm being deceptive, like, oh, like, I'm friendly, then, just, like, stab you in, like, and push you down the hill. If your check is high enough, I will allow it to be an automatic pass at a natural 20 without rolling the natural 20. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So whichever one you want to choose, either deception or kind of stay back and let them just ignore you.
I had deception in mind.
Perfect. And then Theodric.
Okay, Theodric is going to be using his big new shiny shield that he won during the joust, the Knightly Shield of Gale.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to be standing as the vanguard, kind of next to Faenor.
Okay.
And he plans on being the defensive wall, I guess, would be the best bet in this one.
Okay.
He plans on basically watching Faenor's flank, but being the vanguard.
Okay, perfect. With that, I'm actually going to have you make a fortitude check for me, as you're using your shield in order to kind of block, or not fortitude, sorry, that's Everlast, Constitution.
Okay.
Sorry. I just played it this weekend, sorry.
Do we want to roll those now? Or?
Go ahead and roll those now for me. So we got we got intelligence for Valineth, we got deception for Jaylyn, we got
Wait, which one?
Athletics.
Constitution, and then athletics.
Is it a Constitution saving throw or a?
No, just basically click your Constitution and it should roll the.
Oh,
the check.
okay. That is very not good.
Okay.
I saw that.
1 second before you tell me what is going on, let me go ahead and roll some stuff for them so I can figure out what they're doing. So give me one second.
We do also have the 3d8.
I have the dice.
So
Do you
Which
need
we
one
may
of
have
them?
to use already.
Yeah, Theodric, it's okay. I saw you need it. Roll
Yeah,
it.
okay.
if you need it, you need it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to roll that again.
No, you just
It's
roll
just
a
an
d8.
added
and you
additional
add it.
1d8, and that becomes a modifier to it.
Okay.
This is my thought, actually, very quickly.
Mm.
Is it more important to add an 8 to his roll, or potentially, like, which would add a max would be 11, or potentially add 8 to the athletics check that I'm doing, which could be potentially a 16?
That's a
Like
good
I don't mind. I
question.
don't mind if he uses.
So
the roll
I
to
will say, I
increase
will
it.
say this: the exact result of this roll isn't whether or not you're moving in. It's determining if you have modifiers going into
Okay.
the melee check. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Ah.
Never mind then.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't.
Alright,
I
yeah.
think you'll be fine, Theodric.
Okay, because that was a nat 1, and that scared the crap out of me.
That would have disqualified you, but that's not what this check is.
Well,
Okay.
it was a nat 1 with like a +2.
But then
still-
the nat ones
Why
are very
tell me
important
when
though.
you're
So
rolling naturals because I'm keeping track.
yes, and that's good to know.
Valineth rolled a 12
Okay,
for his intelligence.
Theodric rolled a nat 1 for a total of what, 3?
Yep.
All right,
I
Jaylyn,
rolled an 8. Oh, sorry.
I got a 17.
17, and Faenor.
I got an 8.
Okay, awesome. And so, Valineth, you are surveying the battlefield, kind of ducking a little bit behind some of the cover that you see. And you see what look to be a number of individuals up here. And so I'm going to go ahead and start flipping guys over to kind of discover on what you are seeing. Starting kind of back in this rocky outcrop, there is going to be actually an army of dwarves. And I'm going to go ahead and just have him now, led by all you can know is Jorvik. And so he's there and he is fighting valiantly. Actually, he is in direct combat with the Black Arrows. And so you see the Black Arrows and Garrick fighting off quite valiantly against them. Standing kind of more towards the middle of the battlefield, you see Gerald. He basically has taken his place directly in the middle and is looking around for any opportunity for people to come charging him. So he's going to fight off. And this actually is working to his advantage as nobody is approaching him, meaning he is feeling very fresh. Everybody's trying to fight everyone else in the meantime. And then you see immediately... That's not the right character. There we go. Elstan. He has a group of his 4 knights, and he has made his way, the Knights of Dale, down to the riverbed, kind of plugging up both entryways without making basically a 10-foot jump. People will have, most people have melee weapons, except he has, that are like attacking here. He has one individual with him that does have a bow and is basically shooting up at everybody that are trying to come. He's got two warriors over here, and he's got 1 warrior plugging this area up. And he is fighting off anybody who's come. And actually, at this point, the woodmen have started charging down and fighting basically the vanguard of Dale. And then nobody is challenging them. However, there are a few individuals who have seen you at the top of the hill and look at that as actually an opportunity to potentially take a spot at the top. There's a one small warband of what looks like Dalish warriors that are coming up. They're not Knights of Dale. They're Dalish warriors that have started making their way up the hill in order to fight you. It's probably about a group of 6 of them. But with all of your rolls, you're able to tell the group this and like exactly what's happening, the movements of everybody, Valineth. And so your check that you're going to be making is going to be made at a +2. You are going to be prepared as far as that goes. Theodric, you are not used to actually wielding a shield. This is something like fighting without Baradarok. This is something that the Rohirrim, you're used to kind of your wood round shields, where this one almost is like a star-like shield, and the weight of it is quite heavy. Even though you're quite strong to be able to have it, you're just learning how to wield this thing. But as the warriors do come up, they look like very confused, seeing like you wielding a Knight of Dale shield. And Jaylyn, they do come up, and the first of them that do come up, they look at you and they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this, and you just start shanking them through the phalanx that's going on here between Faenor and Theodric. You are automatically passing this next check. You will not have to roll the next athletic check with a natural 20. And so that's going to be happening. And then Faenor, yours was an 8. That is correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to fight everything off well enough. You will not get any bonuses to your next roll. And so Valineth, you get a +2. Jaylyn, you automatically pass. And so you're going to be rolling melee weapon attack with whatever melee weapon you have equipped that choice. And so it's just your attack roll for that. It's not damage, just your attack roll. And I will go ahead and divulge to you kind of the results of what's going on. So they come and they started approaching, fighting you, these warriors of Dale.
Should we roll our attack?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your attacks right now. All right.
Oops. Not horrible, but could have been better.
We'll start with Valineth. What was your
He rolled a 10 plus 2, so 12.
12? You are going to lose 1/4 of your remaining hit points.
Which, do I round down or up?
You round down. So 1/4 of your remaining hit points. Theodric, what is your attack going to be at?
I got a 5.
5 total.
Should we? Can we roll our d8 at all for this?
If you guys decide together that you want to roll a d8 for anybody's specific roll, feel free to do so.
I was just thinking, because he's about to take some damage, and we want to try and sustain it to the end. What does everyone else think? Would you want to use your roll for this, or?
Valineth's okay. He's doing okay right now. So.
Was this for Valineth or for Theodric?
Sorry, for Theodric to roll d8, like the d8.
Yeah, it could be rough for you. Maybe.
Yeah.
You rolled a 5.
Yeah. I'm cool to use one. Hopefully.
Oh.
It adds a d8, right? It isn't just replacing.
Yeah.
Yes, it adds a d8.
1 d8 modifier, so you can go ahead and roll that.
Okay. That is plus 7.
So
okay.
for a total
That is a
of
12.
for a total of
Okay, cool.
12. Similar vein, you lose 1/4 of your not including your temporary hit points, but 1/4 of your remaining hit points. Something like, I guess maximum, whatever that's at. And round down. That does not pull from your temporary hit point pool. So.
Okay.
And then Jaylyn, because you automatically succeeded, you move on with full HP from the first round, and you get advantage on all rolls for the next round.
Yo, let's freaking go.
Faenor, what was your weapon check?
Great spear, and I got a 15.
15. So you lose 1/4 of your basically remaining HP as well. However, you get a +1 to your melee attack roll on the next turn.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so they come up and they are fighting you in all kinds of ways immediately as you're learning to wield this shield, Theodric. You get the hang of it quite a bit with the teamwork that's going on. Valineth is shooting down at basically as they come up this slope and hitting them with a couple of arrows is able to slow them down enough for both Theodric and Faenor to be able to fight them off, driving them back with the occasional thrust from Jaylyn making her way down. You're able to successfully block. You do catch an arrow, Valineth, 1 arrow in the shoulder, but it's not too bad. You're able to pull it out, and it stings a little bit, but it's not too bad. You look down and you survey, and this group of woodmen have realized they are not going to be able to take this by force, and so a group of them have actually split off and spread to go attacking Gerald. They do so relatively successfully, but he almost looks like he is toying with them as he just takes a couple of hits just cuz. And then he just throws them aside, chops them down. And obviously these aren't cutting them in half, that kind of stuff. But he chops them down, and every single one that has attacked him has actually fallen in combat. And they are splayed out kind of on the ground. Kind of, how the LARPing goes, or they're like, okay, I'm done. And they're just laying there. A number that are happening here. 1 falls, and it looks like everybody, for the most part, has taken some damage kind of in this general area. Over here with, what do we got going on here? So over here we have Jorvich and Garrick. They're fighting off, and they are quite even. There is a group of 6 dwarves, and there is a group of 5, including Garrick, of the Black Arrows. They are in a tight grip, a tight combat, and one of the dwarves goes down. However, 3 of the Black Arrows goes down. And it is basically Garrick surrounded by two other people, one other person, facing off against 5 dwarves, and so they are quickly being overwhelmed and overcome. However, that being said, Garrick is holding his own. And so he's fighting off everyone that is around him, basically, where all of his men are falling down around him. So that's what's happened in the first round. A number have been fallen, including the people that you have fought. A total of around 42 people have been eliminated after this first round in the first 20 minutes of combat.
How did Elstan fare?
Elstan was not, well, I mean, basically they were being assaulted by the woodman coming down here. He took a couple of hits, but he is looking pretty good. His warriors that are protecting are looking not as good, but he's looking pretty good as he's commanding orders. And you can see, you don't see him super well as he's kind of down in this ravine. But he's calling orders, and they are a very tightly knit unit. And then over on this side, actually, one of his warriors is slain down by a couple Dalish warriors that make their way in over here. And so basically it's open, like there's one guy defending here, and then there's a bow guy that's down here, there's someone that's here, and he is here basically fending off along the banks of the river. Which brings us into the next round. So you're one of the only groups that has made it completely through with everybody still there and surviving.
Valineth questions to each of them as he's pulling their out. How do you all fare, my comrades? Are you doing all right? HP wise, he's
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I forgot that we could bring more people with us. I kind of wish we'd done that.
Maybe we should have brought villager number 3. I don't know. He was a great companion of us, wasn't he, Jaylyn?
I still do not know who this is.
Neither do we.
You'll meet him. You'll meet him.
He was sitting in chair number 3, so we just called him audience member number 3.
Yeah.
We don't know his name.
But no, I'm faring well. Tis but a scratch.
Myself as well, as he pulls their out. Theodric, how do you do, my good sir?
I'm not used to using a shield quite this big, so I'm a little banged up, but I'm still raring to go, my friend.
Banged up as in by how much did you lose?
About quarter of my health.
Well, yes. How much is that?
3 points.
3 points. Okay, all right, you're fine. All right,
You're fine.
I'm fine.
Rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
Spits in it. Like, yeah, that'll do.
Ah, yes. This puts hair on yourself.
As a note, guys, like I think this is the most serious you've seen Jaylyn, and it's almost disconcerting because, like, as much as she's deceiving everyone else, she's also like keeping up that performance around you guys. So you see her go from like being smiley and friendly, the Jaylyn that you know, to just shanking a dude. It's a little disconcerting.
Yes, absolutely. I was actually going to mention that a little bit, where it's just like you're kind of like that sneaky trick where like you have not been touched, you have not been harmed, and you're doing just as much damage, if not more, than anybody else that's out here. So yeah, you're doing your thing. Which brings us though to the second round. So Jaylyn, I'm not going to allow that tactic to be able to carry you into the second round. Which
That's
means,
okay. I don't want it.
People have realized they're like, okay, like this girl means freaking business, and then whoever's coming at you are going to be coming at you. What are you guys going to do for this next round as people begin? More than half of the people on the battlefield begin falling.
Should we start making our way down the hill in maybe like behind the first set of like right here? Like we start like making our way down here. Start getting in closer.
Yeah.
Not too close, but maybe start heading this way.
Because moving down brings us towards Gerald and Elstan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We're
gonna have to fight them eventually.
Yeah, I'd really like to go for Garrick, but he's all the way on the other side.
He's way, yeah.
Yeah. So I might as well try and fight our way down the hill a bit.
Maybe try to still give ourselves a little bit of protection. Does this still have cover right here?
Yes, so these are about like 4-foot coverings essentially. They're like road walls. This hill right here actually rises to 10 feet. So if you go down below here, you will get complete cover from anyone that's over here. This is about a 20-25 foot drop down here. This is a steep drop of about 15 feet, as in it slowly goes down to level here. But yeah, these are about 4 to 5 foot walls, 10 foot wall here, 10 foot ish here.
Do we maybe want to try and make our way across the top of this field?
Yeah.
Because if we can go to where like Garrick is, because I'm assuming
Yeah.
that Gerald, being like the fighter, this is probably going to go after Elstan. Let's be honest.
They'll
Yeah.
probably make their way up.
Yeah, we might be able to pick off some of these black arrows while they're fighting these dwarves.
Yeah. That's a
hopefully,
good plan.
Like almost like trying to as stealthily as we can like approach. Is that what we can do? Like slide down the hill and make our way across to the
Yeah.
map like that?
I'd
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good idea, yeah.
Since no one's really focused on us based off of what that last thing that Kyle was
Yeah,
explaining.
like,
So,
we're
so
not-
you didn't take out everybody in the warband that's taking you, but they are like you've taken out most of them. And clearly you have held your ground enough to where they're not going to attempt to pursue you. They'll probably try to have more avenues, find more avenues to
Yeah.
be able to succeed.
So yeah, we'll just push them back and
Try
see
and
how
pinch-
far we
yeah.
get. Yeah.
Try and pincer the black arrows between us and the dwarves. Crush
Yeah.
them. Jaylyn, you can get your your like
Garrick.
Garrett can get his comeuppance. You can give him.
Hmm.
You can get vengeance. But yeah, I think that might be a good way for our plan to be. So it's like we're all good for that.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Trying to be a
Cool,
little
cool,
sneaky
plan.
about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you, as you all make your way down this hill. It's a relative gradual decline. Depending on what pace you're wanting to do it, I'm going to actually have you make 2 checks. Your first one is going to be an acrobatics check. If you rush down and do this, I will allow you to make a stealth check. If not, and you're taking your sweet time, I'm not going to allow you to be able to approach stealthily.
Well, I want to rush down the hill, and if I can get to the bottom of the hill, I can at least then guard at the bottom while everyone else is coming down, so they're not attacked while doing that. But
All right. Yeah, I'll attempt to do the same.
So what kind of
Um,
check would it be if we were rushing down?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Well, it's acrobatics either way.
Yeah.
But you just won't get a stealth check at the end if you don't rush.
Yeah.
I'll
so
rush.
the problem is we're all carrying shields, and that gives us disadvantage on acrobatics.
so,
Eh.
it's only if you got it equipped actively. So.
Yeah.
Of
Which I
course
do.
So I think Jaylyn and Theodric have it, so
Yeah.
you get disadvantage.
Well, Valineth or not? Sorry, Faenor and I can rush down if we want. Stay
Yeah.
close, because I'm good. Yeah. I can do that.
So essentially, what I will do is if you guys are making acrobatics checks and you go down slower, like you're taking your time and you're doing that, I will allow you to cancel the disadvantage on it. You don't get any other bonuses, but if you go down slow, you will be spotted. But you will be spotted doing this, which means that you two can't stealthily approach from the back. But that doesn't mean that Faenor and Valineth can't be stealthy about it.
No, it's okay. I'll try the stealth.
Okay. So rushing down, everybody. Theodric, are you rushing?
Theodric's odds of going stealthily aren't great,
Okay.
so he's just gonna try and get down there as quickly as possible.
Honestly, if they see one person approaching, they're not going to really bother. If
Yeah.
4 people suddenly crop up behind them, that's going to be more of a surprise.
And so in the second round of combat, as you approach the back, you start making your way down. I'm going to have each of you make acrobatics checks for me. And for Jaylyn and Theodric, those are going to be at disadvantage.
Is there a way?
With actually Jaylyn, because you have advantage on your checks, that cancels out. So you have
Oh.
advantage on your basically all the rest of the checks for this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Sure.
guys.
I did roll an 8.
Oh,
Nate.
no, Val, no.
He's like, huzzah for victory!
Now.
He just tumbles down the hill. You got a nat 1 with the 3 total.
Is there a way to roll with disadvantage, or do I just do the?
Just do
Roll
2
twice.
and then take the lower.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was acrobatics, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, hang on. What was my last 2 rolls?
This is going great. I don't know what you're
it's
talking about.
fine. It's all good. This is the one to
Okay,
roll the nat
14.
1 on.
14.
14.
Okay. So 14, Jaylyn, what were you at? 8?
8.
And then Faenor, what did you get?
12.
12.
Ironically, I was the stealthiest.
Okay. So Valineth, you go tumbling down, taking in the process Lucky you, 1 point of damage.
Yes.
As you tumble down. Very, very lucky you. It's not a super steep, so it's not like the traditional falling rules. I just rolled a d4 and I got a 1, so that's fun.
Nice.
Theodric and
Was it stealthy though? That's the question?
No, 100% no.
Oh.
Yeah, you go tumbling down, and you fall. Actually, as you make your way down, you fall into kind of like this like outcropping of like stones and rocks. Theodric, yours is a 12 as well, correct?
14.
14, okay. So, Jaylyn, you make your way relatively unhindered as fast as your legs can take you. However, you will get no bonuses on your next check, essentially. Your stealth check. But you do make your way down. No harm, no foul, anything like that. Faenor.
Do I still have advantage?
Yeah. Sorry, you still have advantage on the check for the turn, but nothing based off of this check. And then Faenor, you make your way down actually very well. You rush down. This is terrain that you're very used to. And you're well aware, nobody has been able to see you. You're able to crouch down enough to be able to duck behind these hedges. And Theodric, surprisingly, you charge down kind of behind Valineth. You pick him up and you kind of brush him off. Nobody has noticed where you are going yet. So because all of you technically did do this correctly, with the exception of Valineth, I'm going to have you all make stealth checks for me. Normally, with the exception of Jaylyn's advantage, yours is going to be a disadvantage, Valineth, as you approach from the back.
All right, go. Thank you, Theodric. I appreciate that, good sir. Please. Okay.
I did not roll well for the stealth guys.
Neither did I.
I rolled mediocre.
Well, I wish I could say the same.
Well, I got better than Jaylyn, but...
R.I.P. boys.
All right,
You guys
Valineth, what did you get?
I got an 11.
Let's see
11.
what everyone's rolling.
There's a little dialogue box up in the top of D&D Beyond next to where it says campaign.
Yeah.
And that shows the game
Oh.
log, which has all of our roles.
So, very fancy, very fancy. But, so Valineth, you hop over this wall and you actually relatively stealthily make your way over here. Finding your footing on a very flat ground, you duck behind this tree with your bow set up. And then, Theodric, you rolled, what?
7.
7. You make your way over. You are not making too much of a show, especially as you are wearing your chainmail. You are trying to go, but you're chink, 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 chink as you're making your way over here. You actually find your way kind of down between these, and the black arrows haven't seen you, but the dwarves see you, but they don't seem too concerned at the moment about you. And then Jaylyn, what was your roll?
I got a 4.
4. Yeah, you hop over and you're just like panting as you make your way up behind, and you see Valineth has stopped there, a bow drawn, and you're just like, nah, I'm making my way over here. And so you actually jump up on top of this tree, and you have made your presence known that you are coming. And then Faenor, what did you roll?
Unnatural 20.
Whoa. Nat 20. What do you want to do?
Oh, sorry, it was unnatural.
Okay.
It wasn't.
How do you want to approach this?
I don't know. I guess like I've seen all 3 of them take off just before me, and like I'm like the advantage of stealth, like the surprise factor is gone. But I want to run up and basically, I'll like next to Jen, I want to just like dive over this like log and then be up. Like I'm announcing myself, like I get down across stealthily, but I just spring up from behind this log. Like they didn't hear me coming.
Great.
I like that.
Graceful like a deer.
You
Can
did so.
Jaylyn do like a little like flare with the sword as she's like?
Yeah, absolutely. This is actually quite reminiscent of your kind of flair that you had against Tad. However, it still has like the very same almost intimidating effect. And not only are you not alone during this, but you have all of these people at your back. I mean, your coordination could use a little bit of work altogether. However, you all are making your way towards this essentially army, and the battle as you've been doing this has slowly actually begun making its way down here. The dwarves are actually in almost no time easily able to take out the last black arrow. However, the Garrick is able to actually strike down 2 of the dwarves as basically they confront each other. And they make their way down, and you begin to start pursuing in the back. And these dwarves are starting to kind of wrap around, so they're kind of making like this formation. As this is happening, Gerald, he started making his way up in this direction. He has not seen Valineth, but he has seen Theodric and he has seen Jaylyn.
Oh lord.
With that, the rest of basically the crew here, they're rallying down essentially on this, like up here, as they see everybody moving in this direction and the dwarves coming here. They rally over here and kind of use this kind of little wall, this wall here, and kind of the higher ground advantage to there, and they are essentially rallying over here, ready to make an attack as they push forward. They are able to fight off the rest of the Dalish warriors that have made their way down here and the last few woodmen. However, they do take some damage, which includes a decently serious amount of damage to Elstan. He's able to take a few wounds essentially off of that, but they're able to basically wipe out the rest of the people that are there. I'm going to have you all make your checks. Valineth, you're going to be making your check at a +1. Theodric, you will be making your check at a +1. Jaylyn, yours is at advantage. And then Faenor, yours is going to be made at a +3.
Yo, let's go.
Okay.
Can't hear you.
Is that actually going to be a +4? Because last combat you said I get a +1 to all my.
Yeah,
damage.
plus. Yeah, absolutely. Plus.
Okay.
So damage, yes, to the, or not damage, the
So
attack roll.
to the roll, yes.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay,
Go ahead
cool.
and make your rolls, everybody.
Oh my gosh! Let's freaking go!
Well done.
You know, with a +8, I still didn't. I only got an 11.
Oh lord.
All right. So you guys all got your results. We'll start
Yeah.
with Valineth. What'd you get?
Valineth got a 24.
24 natural.
No, not natural 20. Natural 19.
Okay, natural 19.
+5.
Awesome. And so you actually, with that, you find your way and you start actually firing arrows at Gerald as he makes his way. You actually land a couple of them too, as he just kind of walks over hulkingly. Think like Michael Myers, and he's just like kind of walking over just dauntingly. You shoot arrows and he just snaps them off and like chucks them off to the side, and he has these 2 hand axes. His eyes aren't on you. His eyes are actually at the back of Theodric and staring up at Jaylyn. As he makes his way. However, you do cop 1 arrow from the lone archer that's over here that has rallied and has seen you. You are going to lose 1/4 of your remaining hit points. So of the remaining hit points you have, 1/4 of that.
Oh man. I need to heal next.
Theodric, what was your result?
I had a +1, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I got I think it was 16.
16.
Yeah, 15 +1.
You wheel around and you see that this fight itself seems relatively, you know, like Gerald's, not Gerald, Garrick is going to be overrun in a matter of time. Like, he's fighting well and very valiantly, but he's looking like he's going to be dropping. And so you turn around as you see this behemoth of a Beorning make his way over, and you stand up ready to fight. You make your way over and in order to confront him, and he swings his axe at you, and you cop a small wound, but you're able to deflect most of the blow as he continues to hack. You're using your shield. Boom, boom, boom. You lose 1/4 of your remaining hit points, not including your temporary hit points. Jaylyn, what was your roll?
I also got a natural 19 for a 22.
All right. And with that, you jump up and you see basically Garrick over here on the far side. You see that he's surrounded. You take the opportunity to go and confront him. Do you want to sneakily attack him, or do you want to divert his attention to you?
I am putting all the attention on me.
Okay. So how are you going to do this as you begin to approach?
Oi! Yo! Me! Here and now, let's go.
He
He
turns
has no clue who you are.
He turns around and is just like
He is.
he turns around. He's like, "Oi, who let children into the party?" And he shoves the dwarves. That boom! He shoves the dwarves and they fall backwards as he comes to confront you. He is like almost like hobbling and limping over to you, and you see what like are like very like passed out dwarves and all kinds of black arrows that are over here, and you confront each other. Boom, boom. He strikes at you and he slices your shoulder a little bit. He strikes again and he slices your basically thigh. However, you're able to boom block him and then hit him with basically the flat side of your blade and then cut him across what looks to be the leg. And he falls down on his knee to where he is eye level with you, and he just says, "I've had enough of you." And he begins to like, and he falls over, completely collapsed. He has been eliminated.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Do I round down or up?
Down.
For HP? Down?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just 1 HP.
Okay, yeah, 1 HP. Nice.
Did I take any damage right now?
Yes, you took 1/4 of your remaining HP.
Okay.
He did land a couple small strikes on you, but nothing too bad. And then Faenor, what was your roll?
An 11.
11. So you begin to kind of rally in the middle of the group. I'm going to give you an option. To choose essentially where you are going to focus your attacks. Are you going to the dwarves or are you going to Gerald?
Oh lord.
I want to go towards Gerald.
Of course you do.
Can I go into a rage?
Yes. So like we'll say at the beginning of the next round, I will allow you to go into the rage. Does that
Okay,
make sense?
cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So you make your way around here and you find Gerald and you see that those woodmen were not joking. This guy's huge. He easily stands 7.5 feet tall. Behemoth of a man. His muscles ripple. The like basically furs that he is wearing. And you're like looking up at him like this as he just has these just massive hand axes that like look like battle axes to anyone else. And he just smirks and says, "See if you can give me a challenge." And that is going to bring us into the end of this combat. And so there are 14 individuals remaining on the battlefield. There is Elstan and his host of what look to be 3 remaining Knights of Dale. They are all battered. They are all bloodied, taking down the woodmen and warriors of Dale that have confronted them. You have 3 dwarves that are remaining, led by Jorvik, and 2 other dwarves that look decently injured. One of them more than the other. And then you have Gerald, who, taking a few slices off of him, he looks bloodied. He's bleeding, but you can't tell how actually damaged this individual is as he just stands down, looming at, basically glaring at the rest of you. And with that, the third round has second round has officially been completed, and the third round has commenced. During this time, the last 3 remaining dwarves see that you have preoccupied Gerald, and rallying to Jorvik, they make their way down over here, basically trying to fight off the rest of Elstan's group. Basically leaving Gerald to you guys to deal with, and if they're able to survive Elstan, they are going to attempt to face off against Gerald. Go ahead and roll for initiative for me.
Ugh.
Oh lord. Okay, like actual initiative.
Actual initiative.
Oh my
Heck
lord.
yes. I got a
All
good
right.
one too.
Oh no.
Okay, we still have 2 of our d8s as well to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 d8s as well.
We've done very well on resource management.
And
Good
that
job,
can
guys.
be added to any roll.
Yeah. Just have to ask, these heals, are they a full action, bonus action?
Yeah, they're full action to use.
Full action, yeah. But would have thought so. I just wanted to check.
Yeah, I know
I
like
imagine
there's
it's
like some
similar to
house
that.
rules that like allow for like, but because healing items aren't really a thing in this game. Actually,
You gotta
healing
stop
items
and
are
actually-
few and far in between, and it's like physically not just boom potion down. It's like you're actually.
Well,
doing
good.
stuff
I
with
just
it.
I just wanted to check before.
100%. I
did
totally
anything.
get
I've
that.
still got a decent amount of HP, so it's like
Sweet.
Yeah.
not
I've
not
still
too.
got my temporary hit points, which will now be used properly.
Look, thank God you did that earlier.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you guys are now facing down. We are in the fray of combat as Gerald the Bjorning has gone, and like you wouldn't be surprised if this guy is a skin changer. He has got this big gray rugged beard, all with like brown sparse within it, and his eyes are lit with fire, very akin to you, Faenor, as he just like looks down and almost like tauntingly smirks, not like out of like bad juju, bad blood or anything, but he's just like, give me a challenge. Let's go ahead and show me the initiatives. Valineth, what is yours?
20, non-natural.
Woo! Holy smokes. Theodric.
5.
Okay. Jaylyn.
18.
18. Wow. And Faenor.
15. Can I also ask? I would have stopped about 10 feet away from him because I am using my great spear.
Absolutely.
Just to it would have given me just that little bit of extra distance without. You know,
100%.
he's
So that's
huge.
sentinel
but-
feet.
You plug up kind of the hole that he would need to even get by you guys, and so you and Theodric are kind of standing in like kind of like this wall formation between this crevasse and then this fallen tree that actually is newly fallen through the combat. So that's fun. And then let me go ahead and roll initiative for all of my guys here.
Theodric, isn't today a good day to die? As I go into it's like a battle focus, not a rage.
All I can hear in my head is that one line from Kung Fu Panda. Our battle shall be legendary!
As a
Love it.
first battle with the party, guys, you know what? Let's do our best.
I'm so excited. If we go down, we go down fighting. That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying.
We are beginning with Valineth.
Yeah, Valineth, he's gonna be a little bit sneaky about it. He doesn't want to like keep all of the like attention on anything. So can I point with my pointer? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. You can feel free to move your characters as well.
So
let me go ahead and
quick
roll off
question:
this
is this tree downed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Valineth is actually, and if I'm shooting at him, is he tall enough that I will potentially hit my party members?
You're going to be shooting into half cover, and essentially what that means is you roll a d20 on a 1 through 10. You will be shooting into the back of Theodric.
Oh lord! All right, so we're gonna move around. So there's no dwarves or anything over here. This
Nope. Everyone has made their way. Actually, as that happens, I'm going to go ahead and plop everyone else. Go ahead and move your character. What you're going to do there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he's gonna go here, so he's not hit into half cover.
Right.
So he can go right at him, and he's gonna take a shot at him. Valineth
And
is.
Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald the big boy. And as he passes, what is that? Faenor? Jaylyn? As he passes Jaylyn, he's like, "Oh ha huzzah! Perk up, young one! Battle is at hand!" And he's enjoying. He is acting like this is a Renaissance fair or something. He is all into the LARP, Valineth. He's never done anything like this in his life, and he is loving every minute of it. And he's gonna throw some arrows into him.
All right. Go ahead and make a weapon attack roll.
Okay. That's a 16 plus 4, 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Sweet.
You are getting the good rolls tonight.
Yeah, right? That's 5 damage total.
Except for the natural one falling down the hill.
We've had 2 natural ones so far and no natural 20s.
True.
We come close.
What was that damage again?
5 damage total.
Alright, 1 second.
I'm like aiming right because he's got his arms up ready to attack. Right in the armpit is where he's going. Like right under the pectoral.
Right,
what is it? That right pectoral.
Yeah, you do so. He's like, oh, you go as he's coming down to bring his weapon upon Theodric. You shoot, boom, right in the pectoral, and he barely flinches as he just continues his attack. Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to bring us to Jaylyn. What do you want to do?
So, quick question: what weapon is Theodric using?
I am using a shield and my longsword.
And a longsword. Okay, cool. Because I have a net that I might be able to throw over him. Because I haven't technically gone into my rage yet because it's not my turn. I could throw a net on him.
Okay, anyway, Jaylyn is going to go over here, freaking vault over the log.
Alright, I'm gonna have you make a acrobatics check for me as you do that. This is the midst of combat, so everything's rushed.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Probably gonna fall on my face then. I don't have advantage, right?
Correct, you know advantage.
Well, it can't get much worse than that. It's a natural 1.
Alright, yeah, you fall over this, and you fall prone. You don't take any damage as it's only more of like a trip over this. You are prone until basically you spend half your movement to get up, which I think you still have half your movement, so.
Yeah, I may as well just do that now. And, just like... Okay, here's what she does. In an attempt to like stay safe and still like prone, and then she like jumps up, gets her legs underneath her without having to like climb up. And then she's just gonna slash at this guy's kneecaps.
All right, this guy's a monster. Yeah, so this is like, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Very nice. Oh, that's cocked. That was 11.
11. Unfortunately, that does not hit. You catch his flesh, and the flesh, as you drag your sword along it, almost feels like sandpaper, as if like his like legs and everything has been calloused up. You don't even draw any blood as you just, and he just doesn't even.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, he's a big thick boy. I'm gonna have both of Faenor. What is your overall dexterity score for me?
14.
14. All right, it is now Gerald's turn in combat. He looks down and sees that the group of you have started surrounding him to a certain degree, and he is going to attempt to. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and just take weapon attack. So he has 2 attacks to use. His first attack, his hand axe, is going to be targeted against Theodric, which we're going to go ahead and roll here. Ooh. That's gonna be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Not natural. It's not natural. So, 25. He's gonna go ahead and roll his damage for that, and that is going to be a 10 cutting damage or slashing damage.
Ooh.
As he just slashes, boom, and he just knocks your shield out of the way and basically makes a second cut. And he's gonna go ahead and slam down with his second attack. To which I don't think this is hitting. Does a 12 hit?
No.
And so he basically slams the shield out here. He takes a cut at you, and then in attempts to kind of almost like uppercut you again, you're able to just get your shield and like punch it out of the way as his second weapon attack was flying, misdirected. But then with that, it is now Faenor's turn.
Okay, cool. Weighing the pros and cons of it, it doesn't really do it. Like he has to make a DC 10 to remove the net. I think it's better if I just deal damage, but I am going to activate my rage.
Okay.
And now I'm going to attack him with my great spear.
All right. So this rage begins to like battle fury begins to fill up Faenor. And his eyes begin to flicker with elf lights as Sailor Moon transportation begins. No, just kidding. His eyes just begin to flicker with this horrible, like, keen focus as he begins just thrusting his spear into this behemoth of a man. What was the hit?
6.
6 will not hit, and he takes a look at you and just boom, bats it out of the way with the back of his hand. As he just like grins, he's like, very interesting. Yeah, then essentially that brings us down over to the combats that are happening over here. And so the dwarves begin to clash immediately with the lines of basically the bardings here.
So was I dead last in initiative?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
They begin fighting, as it were, and the dwarves are going to go ahead and make their attack rolls. So, all right, this dwarf does some damage as he slices, and then Jorvik, he is going to attack Elstan, which he misses, and then this guy is going to also attack Elstan. To which he misses as well. Elstan just sits there and just boom, boom with the shield, and he just begins stabbing as they begin to have their attack rolls. This guy's going to go ahead and move in and start attacking here. This guy's going to fall back a little bit, and he has his bow. He's going to start making his way up in this direction, firing at this dwarf. With a nat 20, he's going to go ahead and slay this dwarf.
Dang.
And yeah, that's what's happening there. He's going to go ahead and attack Jorvik, to which he does not hit. Jorvik, he looks around, and he actually, as the Dalish Knight brings his sword down, Jorvik grabs his arm in midair, just throws his hand down, dropping his sword in the process. Elstan, he is going to make his attack against the other dwarf, actually, to which he easily hits, dealing enough damage to actually take this dwarf down. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, which brings us to Theodric, the Grimborn.
Let's go, Theodric.
Oh, can't hear you, buddy.
I know usually to retreat without being attacked by attacks of opportunity, you need to disengage first. If Theodric were to retreat with his shield up, could I get away without using my action to disengage?
So if he's retreating with the shield up, I would have you make a essentially a contested acrobatics check as you back up, because his attention is very clearly focused on you. He's going to be trying to keep you in combat, but if you do better acrobatics than him, I would say that you can do it. However, if you fail your acrobatics, I'm going to say that you're stuck where you are. So kind of give or take.
Okay. Just got to metagame for a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm planning on backing up a little bit behind these trees and healing.
Okay.
If I fail the acrobatics or he beats me at the acrobatics, would you guys be cool with me using one of the D8s to try and escape that?
What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to get distance between you and him?
I want to get some distance and heal, because like another hit like that last one, and I'm down.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, no, I can't anyway. Don't worry, because I don't have one of the health kits.
You don't.
Okay, no.
Well, that's good information to know.
I forgot about that. Okay, in that case, I am going to rage.
All right, so Theodric is going into his rage, and actually, as you do so, your blood begins to boil, and you get this hyper focus. You look next to you, and you see like this elegant flow of this elven warrior with just like this keen attack. But you don't have the same. You actually begin to burn with deep hatred for this Bjorning, for the things that he has done, and you begin. I'm gonna actually have you make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh no. Oh no, that is a 1.
What?
An unnatural one.
Okay.
Because I have the -2 from Doomed to Die.
Oh no.
For the next 2 combat rounds, you are going to be unable to disengage him in combat.
Okay.
You will not be able to move away or run. You are just full-fledged. You are going until he's down for the next 2 turns.
Okay. With that, I will also make an attack with my longsword.
All right, you do so.
Oh, for God. My dice are cursed. I whiff that. I whiff that so badly. I'm blinded by rage.
Nah.
That is a 5.
Yeah, it's not going to hit. As you do so, he backs up and is just like, calm down there. You do it like this. And he goes and he just like with both axes kind of like this. He begins kind of going to bring his axe down. Which brings us to the top of the round with Valineth. What are you doing?
All right, he's gonna run over. He's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen such a man do such a thing. I have to help him. And he's gonna sprint over behind Theodric. Let's see if he can make it.
Yeah. 30 feet.
Yeah, 30 feet. So okay, perfect. He's gonna grab his calf. He's gonna like go down. He's gonna grab his calf wherever he sees a bleeding wound, and he's gonna use his hands of a healer on him. So
1d8 plus your
D8
wisdom
plus-
modifier. I think it's wisdom modifier plus actually your proficiency bonus.
that's if I do it for 10 minutes. I have to take
Okay.
10 minutes to do that.
So just
it's
plus
just
wisdom
that.
modifier.
So 2 plus 5. So
7.
10 or 7 HP is what he's gonna do. How much more movement do I have left?
That's it.
Oh, that was it. Okay,
Okay.
perfect. I'm just hiding. I'm just hiding underneath him.
I'm assuming that doesn't give temporary hit points.
No. Unfortunately, no.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm back up to health. I can fucking... Pardon me. I can survive another hit. I can survive another big hit.
Hopefully.
Unless he gets another huge attack roll. It would take a crit to bring me
He's a
down.
big man.
All right, cool. Jaylyn.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna move sneaky over here. We're not really doing flanking rules, are we?
No.
Ah, that's okay. I will give him another stab then.
All right, go ahead and do that. If you wanted to be stealthy about it, though, I can make you have a stealth check. If you want to sneak around, his attention's clearly not on you, and because you have made your way behind. If you want to make a stealth check, and you pass basically his DC based off of his wisdom, I will give you advantage on this attack roll.
Okay, yeah. I already did roll the attack, but I have nothing to lose, so.
That's true.
Alright, what's stealth? Hang on. Oh, there it is. With disadvantage because of shield. Well, it can't get much worse.
Okay. Go ahead and just do your that original attack that you rolled. That's fine.
Yeah, that's alright. Let me find it. It was... Yeah, 18.
18 will hit.
Easy. Oh, okay, I have to roll damage now. Boop. There's the least amount of damage I could have done. 2 damage.
Still damage.
We're
That's
picking
true.
that away. We're picking away at it. And if I could have a bonus action, to just yell, "Okay, mate, he's all yours," to Faenor, as I give you a bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Cool. What does that give me when I do
1d6.
1d6? Cool.
Awesome. And so
to use within the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
perfect. And so you do so, and this happens, and you do find a soft spot enough to be able to just cut him, like, basically right along his hamstring. Not deep enough to really get much or, like, completely, you know. But he knows, yeah, you're there, and you have left a wound on him. So, very good. Faenor, oh, nope, Gerald's turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead, and he looks at everything that is happening that is around him. And he is actually going to turn around to make his first attack at Jaylyn. So he's going to go ahead and swing. It's just like, basically, you attack him from behind. He turns around. He, with one hand, he's going to, boom, attack you here. And then he's going to attack Theodric with his second. First attack. is going to be a natural 1. So he just completely whiffs you as you just duck out of the way. But with his next attack against Theodric, I don't think that'll hit. 9. And just like you were even able to just like bat him out of the way as like he sees that he's quickly getting surrounded on all sides. Clearly your combat prowess is a little bit more than those woodmen that were fighting him earlier. And then his eyes, boom, go over to Faenor, looking just at you as he is ready for you to go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, cool. Cool. If I do not hit him here, I lose my rage. That's going to be unfortunate. But yeah, so that is basically, I'm just going to see if I can hit him with my... Okay, 22.
Oh yeah, that'll hit. Is
Cool.
that's not natural, correct?
No, it was an 18, so...
Perfect.
Yep. There we go, and that is going... Holy crap. That's going to deal 13 damage.
Woo, buddy. Yeah, you do so, and 1 second. You jab your spear. You basically...
Sorry, 15 damage because my rage gives me extra damage during my rage.
What? 15?
1d12, man.
Yep.
Plus
Barbarians are
modifiers.
no joke.
Yeah.
I don't get to use my shield when I have my great spear, so weaker. I'm more of a glass cannon, well,
But
relatively.
You do so. You kind of step back and then boom, boom, double step and then thrust right into him, and it's deep actually within his collarbone as you do so. You just pierce, just and he actually screeches in a rage and just like kind of like stumbles back a little bit, and you can see a little bit of panic is on his face, but like he is still good and ready to go as we move into the rest of these turns. And so back down here to the lone dwarf Dwarvich against all of them. He is going to do what he can to take out this Dalish warrior or Dalish knight. So he's going to go ahead and first make an attack roll, which he does hit. And so he has a shield and an axe. He goes boom, and he hammers through, basically catching the shield and hammering through right into the chest area with his axe, to which he deals enough to take him out. That's what he can do. So the rest of these guys are going to go. So now that they're kind of like clutched in the throes of combat here, Elstan is going to go ahead and make his attack at Jorvik, to which that is going to miss as Jorvik boom, blocks. These two, however, are going to make their way over here. He's going to make his way up further, and he's going to make a shot into these combats over here as this guy engages Jorvik. We're going to do him first, as he's going to fire into Faenor. So this is going to be probably not a hit, just FYI. Does a 9 hit?
No.
All right. So it just completely whiffs and he misses. And this guy's going to go ahead and make an attack towards Jorvich, to which he does hit. Oh boy, here we go. With his sword, and he is going to hit him hard as he just boom stabs him in the side as he's focused on Elstan blocking and whatnot. He just comes around and just like shanks him right in the side with his sword. Jorvich is not looking good at all. Awesome. And then that brings us to Theodric.
Okay. So, to recap, Gerald is still up.
Yes.
Barely, yes.
And not barely. Like he looks like he's still on his own 2 feet, like ready, good, rearing to go.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just
So again, because of for this turn, you are not going to be able to leave.
Yeah.
his-
I'm just wondering Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna attack with my longsword again, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a 18.
18 will hit.
That is a 9 damage.
Boom, kind of.
Do you have your rage extra damage as well?
Oh,
Because it might, for me, it's +2. I'm just not sure if that's because it's barbarian feature.
I think that was +2.
If it's a
it's a 10.
strength-based weapon, you get a +2.
Oh, okay, so that's an 11 then.
Ooh, 11. Awesome.
Unless D&D Beyond already adds it.
It didn't for me.
Okay, yeah, 11 then.
Cool. And so you basically reach out and you hit him and slice him right across his chest, and you can see like blood beginning to like in his furs and whatnot. And he looks at you, and there's like this fury in his eye. He's gonna go ahead and retaliate against you. So he's gonna bring his axe down. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
All right. And so he will be inflicting to you 10 points of slashing damage. It's just boom! It just slams down right upon, like past your shield into your basically chest. So you're just taking away temporary hit points as it were.
I'm assuming that he didn't do 20 damage and 10 is his sum of everything.
No. So it's 10
Okay.
damage and then it's halved because you're raging.
Because I'm in rage.
Lord.
Okay, so 5.
5.
All my temp hit points are now gone.
It's okay. They served you well.
Yeah,
They did.
the meat shield of Theodric. Awesome.
No, it's good. It's good that he's actually targeting the person with the hit
Yeah.
points. Fair. This would be bad if it was me.
If I had not taken the...
Well, he
the,
tried to. He just missed.
If I hadn't done that and gotten my temporary hit points, I would have been down. Like, long ago.
Ooh, boy. All right, that brings us to the top of the round. Valineth.
How's he looking? How's he looking?
He's looking hurt.
All
He's
right.
looking pretty hurt.
All right, Valineth is going to see the opportunity, not seeing he can't do much more with his healing. So he's going to actually go around about this log, so 5, 10, 15. He's going to jump up on top of it.
Make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh lord, I shouldn't have jumped up, should I have?
It's not super high, so the DC is not going to be huge. But as long as you're not rolling natural ones.
Yeah, like I did.
Rolls over the log, stops at his feet.
It would
Hello.
be him. It would be him. Acrobatics, we said?
Yeah.
All right. 13.
Sweet.
13. Yeah, you get up there no problem as you just bow drawn.
And he's just going to yell into the aether because he is just taken by the thrill of battle. Huzzah! And he releases an arrow into him,
Let's
or
see,
tries
what's the
to,
hit?
attempts to. All right, so that would be... Can I use the... should we use the D8? He's on death's door. We could have a turn of movement. We could have a
Look,
turn of
I
movement.
would say, yeah, like this might be worth it.
Yeah, because I'm
I
like
mean-
there. I'm close. We know a 14 doesn't hit him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
close.
I'm
Can
cool
we
with
do-
us.
is that
We
good?
still
Is that
have
good?
one
Yeah.
after this if we
Okay.
do use it.
Hopefully the last
Yeah.
one can be used in our final little encounter. So
That's 2, so that's a 16 to
A
hit.
16 will hit.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Okay.
To
Alright.
be fair, I don't think Elstan's going to be as hard to beat as Gerald.
hopefully not.
I find that
That's-
very difficult to believe.
That's 4 damage.
All right.
Gerald was ballsy enough to fight alone. Elstan is not.
Yeah, true.
You shoot this arrow into him, and the way that he is facing, you shoot it directly into his side. And you find like a cleft in like kind of like an open like area where like his cloth armor has been pretty much torn. Boom! You fire it in, and it goes probably a good 2 or 3 inches inside, and he falls down to one knee. Breaks it off, looks at you, looks at everyone around him. I'm not going down without a fight. Jaylyn, it's your turn.
Get him, Jaylyn!
Jump on his
Why
back.
not?
Get him, stab him.
Oh no!
Jalen's already
I really
taking
think
care
it
of
would
Garrett.
be easier for everyone concerned if you just gave up, dude. But I can respect it because it's exactly what I would do. Okay. I got a 15.
15 just hits.
Oh!
Yeah, we found the DC, man. We found it. Awesome. Let
Go
me
ahead and roll
do my
damage.
puny damage. Oh, that's pretty good. That's an 8.
Whew.
8 damage.
You do so. You flare your blade up at him, and you slice at his hands. And then he begins to... He kind of starts to slump as you can see that his muscles are trying to move, but they're just like, don't have the energy to do so. And with one last... he's going to make a retaliation attack at you.
Oh, no.
Deserved. Completely deserved.
Does...
Flash of white, Jaylyn flying off into heaven. Like...
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, no, that hits.
And that is going to be...
This is gonna be big.
I'm gonna
5
die, dude.
points of slashing damage.
You know what? Surprisingly, I'm still alive.
Oh, let's go!
He just, boom, crashes past your shield
Wait.
into you. And he begins breathing super heavy and super hard. And he looks up to all of you around. It's not over. It's not over. And he is going to go ahead and release his last two attacks at Theodric. First attack,
Oh no.
a 20 to hit.
That hits.
6 points of slashing damage. Boom! As he just like slashes into your chain. Second attack. That's gonna be an 8, so he's going to miss his second attack. Boom! As you're able to parry his blade away. At this point, he's up. He's lost control of his arm, and both are down as he just like kind of is hunched over like this. Turns his head and he sees Faenor getting ready for his turn in combat.
You still have a bardic inspiration too, fam.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. Unnatural 20. I'm gonna look him in the face and I'm gonna say, "A worthy opponent," and just boom, gonna drive my spear into his chest.
And you do so. He drops his spear or his axes and just.
Six
Like
damage. Oh,
He needed
yeah.
1 damage.
Cool.
He breaks it out and he gets off to his feet and he goes and he sits on this log as he just begins to kind of clean up his wounds. Good luck.
Valineth looks over to him and he's like, "Well met, good sir. You fought valiantly."
And he
Look alive,
he
everyone.
He kind of
Not
just
over
like
yet.
looks at you, kind of like, I'm really hurt. This is not, and he's just like ripping off cloth and like tying it around like his wounds and like trying to clean. He's just like, he's very busy.
Yeah. I
I'm gonna
imagine
turn-
there's like medics and people who are looking
I'm gonna
after-
turn to everyone else. Well, let's go clean this up, and I'm gonna take my deer helmet, deer mask, which has been on my shoulder, and slot it onto my face.
I love it.
Oh lord.
Let's go finish this.
And as you do so, just as you had mentioned, Jaylyn, there are a number of healers that have made their way down onto the field, and they've been working on the individuals here as the battle has taken place. They look to Gerald, clearly like he's like still up and moving, so he's not a priority for them right now. But yeah, they're like he's going to be sitting there, and so you do so, which then brings us all the way down here to these combats. We're going to have Jorvik. He is going to make his attack against this fighter, this Knight of Dale. So he
I
swings.
keep forgetting I'm raged, so I keep forgetting to halve the damage I'm taking.
Oh, yes, have
That'd
that.
be a good thing to do.
The 5
not-
damage.
I'm not nearly as in trouble as I thought I was. I thought I was on 4 HP. I'm on 7.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Everything's
That's good.
I'll
The
lead
healthy
the charge.
that's the
Rage
healthy
is nice,
Valineth
isn't
right
it?
now.
So that's going to be a hit on this Knight of Dale, to which he dispatches him out of the way. This Knight of Dale, he has his bow at the ready, and he is going to fire down, seeing that this is what has been done. He's going to fire down into Faenor, the first target that he's going to see. So he's going to go ahead and roll to hit at a nat 20. So that's maximum damage of...
Thankfully, I just halved.
That's true. That's very, very true. 1 second. Maximum damage of... That's not too bad, actually. 9 points of piercing damage.
So that would be what, 5.
4.
It'd be 4
Four.
because
We
So
roll-
roll,
we
we roll down.
go down.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very good.
So yes, 4 damage, and you boom, he fires, and you see this guy on the hill just firing down into you. But then that brings Elstan and Jorvik. They are in a close combat, as yeah, they're doing their thing. Yeah, and with just enough to hit him, he's going to go ahead and roll damage on that, and that is going to bring him down to 0 HP. Jorvik falls out. So it is
Sweet.
there are 6 individuals remaining. Elstan and one of his knights against the group of adventurers, unlikely heroes, come together in this melee, facing down the captain of the Guard of Dale.
Can I take my little healing pack and throw it to Valineth, saying, I think Theodric needs this a little more than I do.
Yeah.
And Valineth
Wasteland.
takes it and puts it in his pocket. He's like, "Oh, I think we'll save that for later."
Ah, I should have known better than to. Yeah, never mind. You know, Rivendell elves.
Oh, are we still in initiative order?
Yeah, so Theodric
Okay.
is now his turn.
Okay. Well, Theodric is no longer enraged. Or no. Would I be enraged still?
If you somehow are able to still make an attack or something with your turn,
Okay.
like throw a spear or something.
Sorry. Now, each of the squares is 5 feet. Yeah?
5, and a diagonal move, it's 10.
Okay. 10, 20, and 30. What's the elevation of this little like lip? Oh, sorry, I don't have my this here.
So this is a ground level for you, so it actually ducks downwards 10 feet from
Okay.
here.
So the archer still has very clear line of sight.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just going to pop over there and get myself ready for combat.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, so Theodric, in this rage, just as it begins to kind of slowly fade away from you, as you see Elstan, captain of the guard, standing there triumphantly over his dwarven foes. Yeah, he is charging full-fledged you're charging full-fledged into this group, leaving behind your companions. But that brings us to the top of the round of initiative, Valineth.
Yeah, Valineth's seeing this obvious problem as standing on top of the hill. He's gonna try to do something about it. So he's gonna move. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. From here, would he be able to have a clear shot of him?
So that'll be
Right
30
here.
there, yeah. You would, have a clear shot of him. He has no in the ways or anything, so.
Okay, and he's gonna turn back to the party and said, "Ha ha! I haven't had this much fun in at least a century!" And just laughing, he's gonna fire an arrow up at the guy
Yeah.
on the hill. So,
Go ahead and do that.
Being a ranged fighter must be nice.
yeah, well, it's not great. That's 9 to hit.
Don't worry, we
Nine,
can
a
take
9 will
it.
not hit.
Yeah. So he just woo into the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what you could do.
perfect. Jaylyn, your turn.
Yeah, I'm hurt, so I'm gonna heal myself.
Okay, perfect.
How much was it?
1d4 plus your wisdom.
Oh, cool. So 1d4 plus 1.
Wisdom modifier.
Yeah, 1d4 plus 1.
Sweet.
Sweet.
And you can still move too, if you wish to do that.
Oh, cool. In that case,
Ooh, guys, this is very, very close.
I
This is crazy. I honestly did not expect it to be this close, to be quite honest.
No, neither did I. I thought we were gonna.
This is very
die.
impressive. I'm very, very impressed with just your tactics, the rolls, everything overall.
I think that's about 30 feet. Ish. Yeah.
Yeah, 30
No,
feet. Sweet.
fine.
Jaylyn, you
Very
you see Theodric going, and you're like, you're not leaving without me, as you begin charging
Yeah.
forward as well.
100%.
Faenor.
I picture like Merry and Pippin going into the Black Gate, just run with their little hobbit feet. That's what I'm thinking about Jaylyn.
Except
Okay.
faster.
I'm not
Yeah.
that short though. I'm
That's true.
only-
Well, compared
She's
to
not 3
him,
feet tall. She's not 3 foot tall. She's
I know, but he's big. Freaking.
I'm 5 feet tall. Thank you very much.
But I'm gonna basically Faenor's gonna be running alongside Theodric, and he's actually going to throw his spear, draw his bow, and launch a shot at Elstan.
awesome. So that was half movement, correct?
No, I did the 30.
30 feet. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and make your shot.
Excuse me. I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration just to really
Hit
nail
it
this.
home.
So a 17.
17. You fire. Boom, boom. He brings his shield up and it just cracks on his shield.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Good. Not gonna be an easy
Oh.
one.
He's a thick boy.
Oh.
You do actually,
He
one of
does
the
have
things
that
that you did
special
learn,
armor.
he does have dwarven forged armor and he's got a special
Yeah.
shield too. So
Yeah.
he's thick.
If he picks up a rock, I'm rage quitting.
I think he's got better things to do than pick up rocks.
Awesome.
I know, but if he does.
He'd
Is
rather
that
punch
is that your turn, Faenor?
Yeah. Nothing else that I can do. My rage fades away.
Perfect. He stands up or he looks at you and sees you all charging, and he kind of takes a more defensible position as he makes his way between these two, not retreating, but almost sidestepping in order for you to basically take on the group of you that are coming towards him. And he begins to call, "For the king! For Dale!" And with this, this guy is going to go ahead and get a command dice to be able to use during his turn. To which he is... essentially, Elstan is going to be doing that, and this guy is going to fire his bow actually at Valineth.
Yep. I saw us coming.
Yep.
He's ready. It's a good day to die.
With
A
a
good day
natural
to
1. he
Oh,
misses.
thank God! I think I say
Yeah.
20 for a second.
Yeah, no, that's a natural 1. He's going to just miss you off into the distance. Which brings us to Theodric.
Okay.
He's withholding his action just in case he does receive an attack, by the way. So
Okay. Okay. Theodric's rage has now subsided. He's starting to. He's breathing heavily, but the battle fury has left his mind. He is thinking straight again. He's very cautious, and he's going to just gently move. I need to zoom a bit for
gently move.
20 feet.
Woo! Starts
Right.
casually jogging over.
There we go. He now has half cover from. Oh no, maybe not. Would that
Yeah,
wall
not
extend
there.
from-
So this guy has actually an elevated position up here,
Okay.
so he can technically fire at you. And then obviously Elstan can see you fully. If you ducked behind this, you would be able to get cover. But
10. Yeah, that's still 25. Boop, behind the rock.
sweet, you do so.
And how does changing weapons work?
So that's going to be a bonus action to change your weapon.
Okay, because I do have like hand axe, which can
You
be
guys
thrown.
still have a rage, don't you? Or did you both use them?
We have one
We-
each left.
Yeah, we get year 2 at first level.
Okay.
But they're only regained after a long rest. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I won't bother changing. That's my turn.
Perfect. Awesome. So that brings us to top of the round. Valineth.
Valineth was ready. He was there, about to accept his demise. He's
He just
feeling
sees
it.
that just like as he puts, he's like, just like flickers out.
He was getting ready. He got on his knees and like put his arms up like this, and then it went right over his head. That arrow. He's like, oh, it's not over. And he stands up and chugs his way along. He's gonna move a little bit further. So he's gonna go this way. So 5, 15, 20. Sorry. And then he's gonna go one more diagonal right here. And he's gonna now. Does he have a shot at Elstan?
That's gonna be rough. I would
alright,
say he has
he's
half cover.
He's
He's
going
not
up
as
at the
big as
archer.
he's not as big as Gerald was.
Yeah, he's gonna go up at the archer then. So he's gonna
Pizza
walk-
replenishment.
Yeah. So that's what he's doing. So he's
Awesome.
gonna roll to hit. Please hit. That's not bad. 14 to hit.
14 is going to not hit.
No!
The bait.
And
I had to double check that. I thought that would hit, but that does not hit.
And now since he did that, he's just gonna get on his knees and do it one more time. Wah!
All right.
Whole platoon thing.
Yep,
Jaylyn.
exactly.
Okay, cool. I would like to stealth. Hang on, I'll show you it now so I can show you what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
So I want to stealth and go just slide down this hill here and
Okay.
use a dash action to sneak up behind him.
Okay, so you can do that. So you are in his line of sight. So you're going to be passing in front of his line of sight. You can stealth. You can go down here. I'm going to have you, because he saw you come this way, make the stealth check at disadvantage. So you can
Well,
still
I had
cut
it at
through.
disadvantage anyway. So
Oh, did you? So there you go. So disadvantage still.
Disadvantage.
So dash.
Okay, well that's not bad. That is also not bad. It's a 17.
That can bring you up to here if you're dashing.
Damn. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, cool. So you do so, and you come up from behind as Elstan kind of takes a look, and he doesn't see you as you scurry your way back behind. You're going to be able to get a surprise attack on him if you wish to do so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
go
what,
ahead.
this turn?
This turn.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that because I used my action already, but that's okay.
Yep. So this
will-
turn you're getting surprise attack, and then it's normal combat afterwards. So
Okay, hang on. I rolled the wrong thing. Okay, it's an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Okay, and then 2 damage.
Boy. Oh boy. All right. You do so, and you just slide in, and where he does not have his defenses and his shield, you can see kind of where his belt is. There's like a small, not necessarily chink in his armor, but like a little weaker place. And so you just kind of jab him right in the side, and he looks, and he's just like, huh, well bet. And he kind of just like looks at you, and is like, oh my gosh, I did not expect that to happen.
Ever the gentleman.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Sweet.
Yeah, I give him a smile, like, I'm gonna be a good sport about it, even if you kill me right here and now.
yeah, I like it. Awesome. So that also obviously brings us down to Faenor. What are you going to be doing? Oh, can't hear
You're
you. buddy.
muted again. Sorry.
Oh, I was just counting, so it was fine. I'm going to discarding my bow. I do this a lot. I just throw my weapons everywhere.
It's okay.
I'm
When
going
you're
to-
your own arsenal, it's fine.
I am going to basically throw my bow, and I am going to run to. Sorry.
I literally am
Ready?
thinking of
Yeah.
like Link from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
He's just got like
Yeah, and
So you're
I-
thinking of Link, and I'm thinking of the Matrix.
And
Am
I'm
I, like,
thinking
am I here?
Elstan's going to have some fun. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah,
right here.
sorry, Nick, we're just talking over you.
that's fine. Okay, but I'm going to have my shield and one of my hand axes, and because no, you know what? I am going to do that little extra bit here. Can I attempt to like taunt him, as like to like come towards to attack me more than Jaylyn?
I would say, yeah, as a bonus action, I'll allow you to do that. Go ahead and make an intimidation check for me, and that is going to be at just normal. No bonuses.
Now, I have to say, when we were talking about him throwing weapons away, all I can think of is Gilgamesh from Fate.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if any of you have seen that, but summoning
Ooh,
weapons
and all these things
willy-nilly.
just summons behind him.
throwing
Yeah.
him back into
You know
his
what?
treasure trove. That's all he's
Yeah,
doing.
Okay, no,
I
that's
actually
fine.
do know what you
Yeah.
mean by that.
My intimidation is an unnatural one.
Ooh.
But you know what? I'm within range. I can throw my hand axe from here because I do still have my actual attack action.
All right, absolutely.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pelt it at his face.
Yeah, yeah, you do so. He kind of looks behind and then he sees you coming up.
Yeah. Okay, that is a 15.
That will not hit. You just throw it and over his head.
Yep. I
as it
still got
were.
more. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Throw it, just chucking all the weapons. All right, and that brings us down to Elstan's turn. And so he, seeing both of you, he is going to, he can't reach technically Faenor with attacks, so he's going to just throw attacks at Jaylyn. So, first attack. This could be close. Does a 15 hit?
Let me get my computer to work. 15 is my armor class.
So he hits. He's gonna go ahead and wield his sword. He brings it back, and you can see in the sunlight, this huge glint goes up, and it is beautiful. If it weren't like, if your eyes weren't deceiving you, like this doesn't look like a natural made metal as he just slashes down at you, dealing. 9 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, okay, I'm down.
Just, and he slashes you, and like nothing super lethal. You can tell he's very, very good with his blade. And he just like basically it cuts you, and then you get like breathless, and you just like collapse backwards onto the ground. And then you wake up almost immediately. But as the rules of the duel, you are disqualified. Awesome.
Get him for me, lads.
Oh no, I messed
Still
it
have
up.
1d8
Sorry,
left.
guys.
Valineth calls out to Jaylyn as he sees this. He's like, Jaylyn, no! And then under his breath, he's just like, but I'm very proud of you. You've come a long way from having rocks thrown at you.
True that.
Oh, what happened to?
It's good. It's good. Settings.
Oh no,
Settings are
guys.
nice.
Hold on. Hold on.
I didn't
hold
touch
on.
anything. This wasn't
No,
my fault.
I'm doing this. I accidentally.
Poor Nick.
Oh.
There we go. He's back.
All right, cool.
Jaylyn passed out, and the world paid it.
Turns out I really was the main character the whole time.
Yeah, really.
Hey, I'd rather get slapped by that glint sword anytime. I'll tell you. Whew.
Okay, you can go in front of me then.
Awesome. Sweet. And so that happens. Let's go ahead and jump into. That's all he can do right now. Let's go ahead and jump into Theodric.
Okay.
Oh no, this guy has to attack.
Darn it! I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, he's gonna make his attack down at you.
And he's gonna. Valineth is like this, just ready to accept it.
And I'm pretty sure you do accept it pretty well. That is going to be a 13.
No, that misses. I got my van brace on.
Hey.
FYI,
Flex
Yeah.
error.
you don't have it on.
I don't have it on. Why not?
You look down and it is missing from your arm.
Ah!
Pickpockets. Pickpockets stole it.
No! What? How's that possible? I was on the lookout for them.
We'll go over it.
DM secrets.
Do we
DM
have to go?
secrets.
Do we have to go track down Bear Meat Girl now? Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Okay.
Well,
All
okay,
right.
now it's a 2v2.
He looks down and
Okay,
it
now
hits
we're
him
gonna go
right in the
beat the
hand.
child.
We don't know how much damage is it.
Yes, let's take a look.
I could still survive. Maybe.
That's going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
He looks up. He takes that arrow to the arm where his van brace was, and he calls out, "Father, I hope you know, I came for you." And he's dramatically.
I thought that was going to be a very different F word. Looks at his arm. Oh! Oh my god.
That's it.
Whoa.
And he lays on the ground.
We are a PG-13 channel.
Yes, absolutely.
We are, but
Yeah,
I've made some
That was
mistakes.
fun. That was good.
it's okay, it happens. And so that's going to happen, which brings us then to Theodric.
Okay.
Come on, Theodric.
Theodric is going to.
Punch the crap out of him.
to... hang on, I was over here. 10, 20. Oh, that's not going to be...
What can you...
Dash
If-
action...
If I've got to run around you to get into a spot where I can attack him, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll have the movement to do that, so don't worry.
So technically, someone could stand here and someone could stand down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
FYI.
So if I've got to run around you, all good. There's
5,
enough.
10, 15, 25. There we go.
Sweet.
Cool.
Okay. I am going to... Is Rage a bonus action? Yes, it is.
It is.
Okay, I'm
Show
using my
is.
second Rage.
All right. I like it.
And I am going to make an attack with my longsword. That is a 22. Does that hit?
Yeah, that'll hit. You come rushing in. Doom, kind of like whole like Aragorn style, with one hand, I guess, shield in one hand, and then you just whoa, and you just slash. Again, anger boils within you. You see kind of like the smile on his face, like he's really enjoying himself, but he sees like your eyes, and he's just like, okay, and it's just boom.
I'm
That
just
is-
gonna
down.
roll that D8 on top of the
You-
plus
I-
2.
I
roll that
like
D8.
I like how Kyle says how Aragorn style, not Boromir style, because we all know what happens to Sean Bean at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're
think
gonna
that
beat
just happened to
Elstan, and
Valineth.
this one arch is gonna pick us off.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Were you serious about the D8?
Go for
Do you,
it.
do you think I should do that?
Hell yeah, get the max amount of damage in right now, because you're gonna be able to roll your damage dice plus 2 plus the 8. You got plus the D8.
1D8. Where is it?
Let's freaking go. Come on. Come
Let's
on.
Oh
freaking go.
no!
No, freaking.
It's okay, it's extra. Every damage is help.
Okay,
If we'd done
so-
one more damage to fucking Garrick earlier, we would have. No, was it Gerald earlier? It would have downed him
That is
sooner.
a total of 8 damage to Elstan.
That's not bad though.
That's not bad
That's-
at all.
That's decent.
That's pretty good with all those bonuses, actually.
All right, we're about to see how this party is going to be intended in the on the battlefield.
Yes, and so you do so, and you just boom, and you hit him in his dwarven chain, and it almost feels like you have no resistance, or like complete total resistance. Sorry, just boom, and it clashes, and you can hear kind of the sound of a small crack underneath. You have most likely cracked one of his ribs as you just swing your sword down upon him.
Oh,
He just, ugh. Good hit. This won't end like the joust, and he like holds his like basically shield and sword up ready for combat. All right, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Which then brings us to the top of the round, so down to Faenor.
Okay, cool. I'm going to move the 5 feet down in front of him, and would this wall provide me like half cover from that archer? But
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. That's what I was worried about. And I'm just gonna try and swing at him again with one of my hand axes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make
So-
an attack roll.
Get a jack of all trades, I'll tell you.
Only a 13.
A 13. Yeah, as you swing down, he easily blocks it out of the way as he's like easily managing actually both of you coming up from side. Hand axe, sword, and he's just like sitting there kind of bobbing and weaving as he begins hitting. And so he is going to go ahead and make his strikes. Looking at Theodric, he is going to go ahead and make his first attack against you. And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
Oh Lord!
That hits. That certainly hits.
I kind of figured. And that's going to be 6 slashing damage. As
Okay,
he just
so
slashes up against you.
It is halved. because
It is.
rage.
It is halved.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
And then he's going to go ahead and make his second attack actually against Faenor. With a natural 20. That's going to be 11 points of slashing damage.
Oh yeah, I'm downed. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good
that was an
move.
unfortunate nat 20.
Knocked me from half health all the way to nothing.
Yeah, he took
Oh.
like hitting basically Theodric, and in that rage, he's just like, he looks over and just boom, slaps him with the flat of his blade right up in the face, flinging the mask off, and in a bloody mess, he stabs you just barely in the side, and you go down, and you just like, ugh, and you kind of like lean, holding your side a little bit. But with the rules of the duel, you are out. All right, which brings this guy. He's gonna come charging in. He's going to go ahead and attempt a shot at you, Theodric, and he's going to shoot into half cover. So what that means is I'm going to roll a d20. On a roll of a 1 through 10, he hits the wall before I even make a check.
Okay.
So he rolled a 15, just a straight 15, so he's going to go ahead and make his attack on you. And I'm assuming this will not hit. That's going to be a 13.
Miss. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, he just misses just in general, off into the distance. Which then brings us to you, Theodric.
Is he gonna be the war hero we've all
Yeah,
thought
really.
he was deep inside?
I'm going to take another swing at Elstan with my longsword.
All right.
That is a 23 to hit.
Oh, let's go!
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Let's freaking go!
That is a 10 damage. A whopping 10 damage on Elstan.
You stand over him.
He gets distracted by my corpse.
You stand over him, and you just, boom, slam down with all the fury of the Rittermark, and he feels it crashing against his helmet. It just, boom. His eyes roll back a little bit. He gets down onto a knee, shakes his head, and stands back up, ready for more. Barely ready for more. He is hanging on. He is like as breathless as you could possibly be. Just,
I feel like he's the main character and we're the NPCs here.
I know. Elstan, the whole crowd.
that was.
Elstan, a
I'm not gonna
flashback?
lie,
No, for my family,
Guys.
for my king.
guys. Just straight up, a little bit of metagaming. I thought this was over for you guys. Like this has brought you back into it. Just FYI. This is crazy.
Quick, Theodric, make a speech about friendship.
Yeah, there we go.
Bring
Take an
us all
entire
back to
episode.
life.
All right, well, we're going into Elstan's turn, so he has 2 strikes to be able to make against you. First strike
Every hit.
does a 18 hit.
Yes. Yes, it does.
He is going to be hitting you for 4 damage, halved.
We're still in this, baby. We're still
What?
in this.
He's
Oh
got
my
another
God.
attack.
What?
It's in one prayer.
All right. Second
Two
attack.
HP.
Second attack. He's coming at you. That is not going to be enough. That's going to be a 13.
Oh yes, let's go.
We might have this.
Are we?
We might-
Is this serious? Are we still going to beat Elstan and this one archer's like, got him dead to rights?
I know, right?
Just hit you with the arrow.
Probably.
As a bonus
That would be
action,
the most devastating.
As a bonus action, he's going to throw his bow down and pull out his sword. As he comes over here attempting to hop this, he has to make an acrobatics check as he does so, to which he got a 12 and he passes. Hopping over, he's going to go ahead and make his way over back behind you. Elstan, I got this! And he begins to like bring his sword down. He's going to go ahead and roll his check to see if he can.
Don't die by generic, dude.
Unnamed NPC.
That's
Oh,
gonna
no.
be an 8.
Oh,
He does not hit.
We're getting so good, but
The men
Elstan's
from
probably gonna
Rohan
wreck
are
me
builders
next
stern
time.
of
You
stone.
tense, guys.
Theodric, it is your turn.
Oh, please,
Okay,
Theodric.
let's. Do we have any of those D8s left?
No,
No,
we used all of them.
No. Okay. Okay. Good.
It's just you, bud. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm laying
Fine.
down like 5 feet from you. Thumbs up. You got this.
Okay. I am going to take an attack at the other man of Dale.
Okay, yeah. The Knight of Dale.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
Oh no.
Okay, I miss.
All right.
Look,
Bringing
your
back to
odds are
Elstan, he
small, but
said-
not impossible.
Yeah. He looks at you and he says, "You all should be proud of yourselves today.
Oh no, that's so
and he's going to make his attacks. Again, it all depends on whether I hit. First attack, he rolled an 8.
Oh, let's go.
Second attack, as you guys are in gripped in a melee. Boom, back and forth, blocking with shield, parrying each other as he makes his second attack strike.
Yeah, the highlight of the thing so far.
Oh. That's going to be a 17.
Yes, that does hit.
Unfortunately, even with his nat 1 on his attack, that's going to be 4 damage. So at halved, that's going to be 2, bringing you down to 0.
Valiant fight, Theodric.
And that is the end of the melee, and a cheer erupts. And literally standing up, like with all the help that, all the might that he can muster, Elstan, he stands up, and he looks at you, and each and every one of you, and he says, "If each one of you were in the battle of the 5 armies, I wouldn't have lost the men that I had. You should be very, very proud of yourselves on this day." FYI, he had 2 HP remaining.
Oh,
Don't say that. That just makes it even sad.
That's actually so.
that
That's
1d8
actually
you rolled a 1 on. Oh,
That's
Nice.
upset.
Do that,
Valineth is
so
upset
good.
he doesn't have his Van Brace.
That's so good. I had 2 HP. He had 2 HP.
Yeah, it was so good. It was as close. And, honestly, he's much stronger than you guys. So the fact that not only did you take out Gerald, but, oh my guys, that was a really freaking good
We
teamwork.
went through all
Theodric
that
went,
way to beating
4
Gerald, and then we tripped at the finish line.
That was
You did,
really good teamwork, guys. I didn't think this was even going to be close. Just FYI. I thought,
To be fair, him and Random Archer took out our entire party, so good.
oh,
good.
man. Yeah.
They
and
had
so-
help from Gerald. Gerald
And
did
so-
most of the heavy lifting.
Oh my gosh. And so with the end of the battle, everybody cheers, and Elstan, he stands up, bloodied, basically shield raised to the people of Dale. For Dale! For King Bard! And everybody just goes, whoa! And cheers. You have forged a bond on the battlefield, not only with Elstan, but with Gerald as well, actually. You guys basically talk on your way back, and you kind of get a little bit chummy, buddy, as you begin preparing for the next day ahead of you. What are you guys doing? What are you guys thinking at this moment?
Can I actually catch up with Garrick on the way back?
Yeah, absolutely. Garrick stands. He's been repaired. He's been kind of sitting off on the sideline, just kind of just defeated, just utterly defeated from everything. This was his moment to shine in this festival, and he has been utterly defeated by you guys in every way.
Cool. So, good fight out there today, bud. How do you feel about it?
Next year, you'll be back, right?
I wouldn't count on that, mate. I'm a little ways from home.
We'll make up for it somehow.
Sure we will. Hey, I suppose this isn't going to teach you a great life lesson about your, personality or defining characteristics, is it?
He shrugs. Clearly, my years of training have been for naught. This entire festival was supposed to be the Black Arrow's time to shine. Not only have I let my king down, and you look at him, and you go ahead and make actually an insight check.
Yeah, for sure. Ha! That's a natural one.
Nice.
You're just like
I got no
just,
clue,
like,
man. I
smirking at
got
him.
blood force trauma.
Not only have I let my king down, but these fine people here. It was well fought, and then without another word, he turns away, and but he stops for a moment, as if to turn back, but he continues walking away in the opposite direction. He's bitter. He's not
Yeah.
quite as like visibly like upset, but like this like quiet somberness is different. This is weird. This is like a whole new level of just like pissed off.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying to be
I mean-
eloquent, keeping up appearances, but because all of Dale
Yeah.
is there, but yeah, he's pissed.
No, that's fair enough. Like I'd have advice to offer wisdom or stuff, but he obviously doesn't want to hear it from me, so that's
Yeah.
fine. I'll just let him go.
Perfect. Yeah, you guys make your way up. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Anything that you want to say with any of these people that are here as you make your way up back to the city?
I think there's just like a lot of admiration from Jaylyn, just being like, "Man, we had you. We had you."
And there's a lot of admiration going back in your direction, actually. This, like, again, this is the captain of Dale, like one of the strongest warriors that have existed in the city, and you guys brought this battle to him in an incredible way.
Valineth wants to go up to a random archer who slew him on the battlefield. And
Hey, what could I do for you?
I just want to say I have never seen such fine marksmanship on the battlefield. Ha ha huzzah! And he gives him a high five, his hands pouring blood where he was shot through. That is quite the valiant effort out there.
Yes, valiant indeed, and I'm very impressed. I haven't ever seen a elf of your kind and stature around here. Well done. I saw what you did with your allies out there. Good teamwork.
Why, this is the first time I have really tested my skills on the battlefield. However, my father is aware, and he just goes into this whole thing about his quest to find his father, and he's just talking this poor archer's ear off as they're walking back, like just telling him his life story, basically.
Nice.
His long 777-year life story.
I love it. I love it.
That he does.
Meanwhile, Theodric has approached Elstan and is like, "Well met again, Sir Elstan."
Ah, well met. Sir Theodric. Who knew that someone all the way from the Riddermark was going to be the one to nearly best me here in my own hometown? Wow.
Well-
They raise you of sterner stuff down there, don't they?
I have been training for a long time.
And I've been training until every single one of these hairs have been white. Quite progress in your few years of life.
My thanks, but nearly doesn't really cut it on the battlefield. You either win or you lose.
True, but the way that you fought off Gerald, why aren't we talking about this? And he just goes on, he's like, I fought Gerald many a time in, hand-to-hand combats, and I do turn out on top most of the time, but he is no one to trifle with.
Yes, he was quite fierce. I learnt that single-handedly quite. He taught that lesson quite thoroughly earlier.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, at that, I am very, very happy to be able to have had such a wonderful melee with each and every one of you. And he looks at all of you. You're all kind of a little bit spread out, a little bit. But he is just like enamored and in awe. That was the most fun that I've had since before the fall of the Great Dragon. Impressive indeed.
Well, my thanks, Sir Elstan. It truly was an honor to fight against you and your men.
Thank you so much. Your words humble me.
Can Faenor go talk to Gerald?
Yes, absolutely. And Gerald, he's standing there. He has his axe. He looks a little bit upset, but he is just kind of like he's like working on like his like joints, like popping them in. And he's just like, "Oi, you're the elf from the woodland realm, aren't you?"
Oh, that I am, and I give him a big slap on the arm.
He smiles. I like your spirit. I haven't met a lot like you. And he goes ahead and he grabs you, and he like kind of grabs you like kind of an embrace, and he pulls you in, and you just feel like this like big beefy muscly dude pulling you in. And he kind of gives you like a embrace, and then he lets you go. Tell me, where did you learn to fight like that? I've never seen such grace mixed with brawn, mixed with fury.
I learned in my youth in the Mirkwood, but my skills have been honed in conflicts over the last few years. I've been on my own, so you got to learn to really rely on yourself out there.
Indeed, indeed. He kind of sniffs around and says, smells like somebody has had and made some lunch. Shall you join me? And he just keeps sniffing, and it's just like the closer that he gets, it's still there. Quite good indeed. Hopefully there's a good feast for us waiting back, if you know what I mean.
Well, actually, I must go off with my companions, but I did want to come up to you and mention that it is refreshing to meet someone of a similar belief on the battlefield, of battling a truly worthy opponent, and I hope that someday I can battle you one-on-one to see who is truly stronger.
Worthy indeed. Worthy indeed.
That day will not be today. I must go walk off my wounds, but I will see you at a later point in the evening.
We'll take a rain check on that meal together.
And I'm gonna briskly walk away fuck.
Awesome. Anything else before we close this session as you make your way back into Dale? Any last people you want to talk to? Jaylyn?
Yeah, really quickly. Can I scan the crowd to see if I can find those dwarves that we met at the ball last night?
Make a perception check.
Yes.
So good at perception. And it's not bad. It's 16.
16. You see one of them, but upon approaching them, both of them are there.
Oh yeah.
Oi,
Yeah.
well fought, lass. Very impressive indeed. Well met.
Well met indeed. Not quite impressive as enough. I believe that we had an open invitation to sit with your fine company at the feast tomorrow.
Ah, of course, we'd be more than happy to be able to have you join us. Not only someone of such sharp wit, beautiful, elegant dance skills, but also someone who can make it all the way this far, facing down Elstand, the king's champion here in Dale. It would be more than an honor to be able to have you sit next to us at this feast tomorrow evening.
Oh, the honor would be all ours, I'm sure. Pardon me for my assumption, but my friends are included as well.
Of course.
I give a little wave.
Yeah.
I
know you are.
See and gesture over. Of course.
Yeah.
The way that you worked on the battlefield, have you known each other years of your lives? Impressive indeed.
We met 6 days ago, or maybe less. I met Valineth at the riddle contest. He was a contestant there. And then we met Faenor over there at the archery contest. That was probably 5 days ago. And then Theodric we picked up a horse riding contest. And then we sort of stuck around each other's company as we are a band of misfits.
We all met each other during these different...
yeah, we met each other during the course of a week.
challenges.
And yeah.
Oi, and the male, he speaks up. Oi, Durin's beard. Impressive indeed. The fact that you fought off all of that with such skill, with such technique, with such coordination.
Yeah, imagine what we could do if we actually tried.
Oh, they laugh and just, you are a
I
good
love
one to
that
keep
weird.
around. Great company. You are very welcome.
I'm terribly sorry, but I didn't catch your names the other night.
Yes, absolutely. And so they go ahead and they introduce themselves. I have their names actually here.
Of course you do, because
I
you're so
do.
prepared.
I am so prepared. So my name is Boris, and Boris is the name of the male dwarf. And my name is Clovis, the name of the female dwarf. So Boris and Clovis.
I love that. That's great. Well,
That's amazing.
it is a very fine pleasure to make your company.
Very pleasure indeed. We would be honored to be able to sit with you at such a wonderful celebration of the uniting of all the people of Wilderland. It just does my heart good to be able to see the youth these days being able to stand up strong even in times of such peace.
Well, until tomorrow then.
And with that, unless anyone has anything else to say,
Valineth, as he's talking, he actually is looking for the girl. That's all he's gonna be doing. See if
Okay.
he can find her in the crowd scanning.
Okay.
Can Faenor actually, like, after like we're starting to leave and anticipating a bit, I actually want us to walk up to Theodric and it's like, Theodric, I noticed that during the battle, especially against Geralt, that you seem to be overtaken. Is all well?
The Theodric is very flustered and doesn't exactly know how to respond.
I understand the thrill of battle can wash over someone, but it was different with you.
Yes, different is a word you could use to describe what happened.
Is this something that is similar for all men from Rohan? All the warriors.
Theodric is just very, very visibly uncomfortable and just says, no.
I will say, like, Faenor is like fully genuine. He's not like criticizing or anything.
I know.
He's like genuinely checking that you're okay.
Yes, it's something I'm not entirely comfortable with right now.
That's all good. That's all right. But just know that I'm here. I understand. It's that kind of frenzy that can take over, but I'm here if you need someone to talk to about it.
Thank you, Faenor.
And give him a little slap on the arm, and catch up with the rest of the group.
And with that, as you make your way into Dale with this, as the celebration begins to come to a close, moving into the very final day, preparing for the feast, I'm going to have each of you gain a level.
Oh.
Level 2.
Does that mean we gain a long rest?
Hold on a sec, guys. If you're gonna do the
Does that
level
mean
up,
we unlocked
give me 2
unlocked Dale as a sanctuary?
Right?
Technically, you haven't unlocked Dale. There's other ways to get long rests other than sanctuaries,
Okay.
but there's still
Alright.
time here in Dale, absolutely. But you do get a long rest as a result of leveling up.
All right, go ahead, guys.
You
Feel
have
free.
my sword.
Feel
Heck
free.
yes.
Very cool, guys. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. This was fun. Again, this is an encounter that is not impossible. I will say not impossible, but the odds are very against you in this combat as you are facing off against very strong foes. The fact that you made it this far, I'm very impressed, and I realize I have to step up my game because some of these next.
So
ears are
late, but I did
bleeding.
it.
I love it. Sorry. Level up theme.
So we should be level 2 now.
Level
right?
2,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't know how to
But the
change that. I'll
fact
figure it
that
out.
you guys were able to make it thus far and not only defeat Gerald, but come back and pretty much wipe out the companies of, I guess Elstan's company was mostly wiped out, but like bringing him down to 2 HP with only 6 HP left on the other guy. The fact that you guys were literally, it was 8 hit point difference from winning. That's incredible. That's insane. Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, good job, guys. I'm very impressed. I had so much fun with that. Hopefully you
We're
guys
just
did
having
too.
a good time over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was great.
Awesome. And there's going to be lots of adventure and fun stuff going forward from here too. I mean, we have a dinner that's going to be happening and, kicking off the adventure from leaving Dale eventually at some point and figuring all that out. Like, yeah, there's lots to look forward to. And I feel like this also, first combat, very good bonding experience. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Definitely. I think we worked really well together.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was. Yeah.
Bonding pre the melee, so this wasn't a huge thing, but it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was good to see how how all the characters interacted in a kind of no nonsense situation.
Yeah.
Instead of going on to a dance or we're doing this or
Dancing is
one-on-one,
not
it's-
nonsense.
Well,
It's 100%
yes.
serious.
Instead of it just being me versus just Valineth or just Theodric or a riddled
Yeah.
contest, it was all of us working in tandem
Mhm.
to try and determine, okay, how do we avoid dying early and actually able to navigate a field of combat?
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was really interesting.
Absolutely. And the fact that you stood as literally the final 6 in a battlefield of 80.
Yeah.
Impressive. That's cool. That's really neat, guys.
Yeah.
And then like those weren't guaranteed.
We were even in the final 3 if you count. Like,
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Crazy. Wow. I'm looking forward. I'm like, some of these combats are probably going to be a breeze coming up, seeing kind of how you guys do go. But that's okay. Sometimes you need breezes because adventures are long, drawn out. And sometimes it's great to go into a combat without taking a point of damage. That's fine.
And by the way, guys, Valineth is definitely not going to be quite that brazen on the battlefield. Just to let you know, with his 6-7 HP. Actually, it's
That's
higher
okay.
now.
I have actually discovered a flaw in like how my character class is built, because bards usually have spells to back up their thing, so I don't really have the hit points to be like on the front lines, but I don't really have any other option.
So once you do hit your kind of protector kind of status, what is it, like the warden of like protect? I don't know. I don't remember what it was called.
I don't know.
But you gain a bunch of defensive stuff that basically
Yeah.
turns you into a tank. So I think that's level 3. So that's coming soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are gonna start
Okay.
unlocking like specialties and stuff pretty soon. So hopefully this is good. It'll help build to your HP totals and then also begin to unlock. I think actually Valineth unlocks his master healer now.
I do. I got all the heals.
So yeah, he's going to be healing for a lot more potentially now.
So just one thing very quickly.
Mm.
When you level up this, it's still you roll your hit dice plus your Constitution.
Correct.
Okay, because it just I leveled up and it only gave me my +2 from Constitution. I didn't actually get to roll.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, you.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I'll go through your guys' character sheets, or like for example, we could even do it at the beginning of next session whenever.
Kyle, just roll it for me and put it in there. I trust you.
Sweet. But speaking of which, next week I'm actually not here. I'm on vacation. I'm going to Kyoto.
Ooh.
So we actually have a break. We have a week off. So
Right.
enjoy yourselves. Go to bed earlier than almost midnight.
More time to study.
Yeah, more time to study, do all that kind of stuff. But I felt like this is actually a really good way to be able to kind of bring the session, kind of like the Dale arc to a close. We'll take a 1-week hiatus and break, and then we'll be back at the very first week of April with more adventures in Middle-earth and moving forward with the feast, which will be really cool. So look forward to seeing lots of fun people and some good role-playing, and yeah, it'll be good. It'll be
Have a
fun.
good break.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah,
I'm really
enjoy
looking. This is
yourself.
my first vacation. Oh boy, in what feels like almost 2-3 years. So I'm really
enjoy it.
excited about it. Yeah. So we're gonna enjoy it. It'll be good. But you
Going
guys
anywhere
enjoy
we
your
can
week
get
too.
in, or-
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be good. And you guys can now take your long rest to recover from this, and it'll be good. It'll be a party. Anything else that anyone wants to add before heading out?
Quickly, just some schedule updates. So you'll be starting Breath of the Wild tomorrow in Fantasy Forge Studios. I also do believe Cole and Max on Friday, Cole Forge Great Axe, the M is Silent, are going to be doing some more Cuphead on Friday. No streams this weekend, and as a reminder, Kyle will be on his honeymoon, so he will not be doing any, he will not be streaming at all next week, meaning Mondays we have movie night. Tuesday, we're continuing Breath of the Wild, 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Wednesdays, nothing actually. It's a free day. So
Our
no
busy
no
day. Well, my busy day goes to no streams.
no streams. Yeah, no streams on Wednesday, and then Thursday we're going to be back with some Breath of the Wild. I am technically off for teaching. I mean, I still have to report to work every single day, which is boring, but meaning I probably will have a lot more energy. I'm going to be doing my best to try to at least have 3 streams next week. So whether that's Wednesday or whether that's Friday, I don't know off the top of my head, but I will attempt to fill in wherever I can since you'll be gone. So
Sweet.
other than that, nothing
Awesome.
at all. So
Cool.
Don't we have a sponsor?
Yeah,
we
we
have
do.
a sponsor.
Heck yeah, we
Yeah.
do. So Dice Naki is our sponsor. They are a Japanese luxury suites and Japanese suites and luxury treats. They're an amazing family-run business actually in Japan, and they offer stuff like snack boxes that are very different from things that you can get abroad. All Japanese goodies, popular snacks and traditional snacks. And so right now they have their seasonal Sakura box, so that's something that's really exciting and really good if you want to get your hands on that. And then they also have their omakase, which is their popular suites, the omakase lux, which is their traditional suites. And then finally, they have their character boxes, which include Sanrio, Disney, Pokemon, and Nintendo. So really cool stuff. And make sure you guys, if you guys purchase anything from there, tell them that Fantasy Forge sent you. It helps us out. And in the process, too, make sure you put your streamer name, because we're making our way slowly to having our very first Die Snacky box giveaway. They are every 15 boxes that are referred to through us. They're going to go ahead and give away a free box. And by purchasing, you get extra opportunities to be able to win that box. So very cool, very fun stuff to be able to get the community together.
Yeah.
So thanks for the
My
reminder.
books I got a mystery box and it comes either this week or next week. And
Did
I'm
you
Oh,
so-
really?
you got one? Yo,
Oh,
Yeah, I
let's
got a
go.
mystery box. I'll let you guys know when I
Nice,
get it,
nice. Let
but-
me know how it goes. Because again, every box is different. None of them are the same. A lot of these mystery boxes, like Tokyo Crate or like those kind of things, it's usually the same stuff. It's very common stuff that you can get, but every single box is different, which is really, really cool. So
I'm so excited.
Sweet. That's
enjoy,
awesome.
enjoy. Let us know. Post pictures in the Discord if you can. So.
Always.
For sure.
Great.
But until then, we will go ahead and sign off here and let you guys go. But enjoy the rest of the week worth of streams, everybody, and may the road go ever on and on. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.